Eagles. Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show here. The Philadelphia Eagles moved to 8-2 on the season with a 16-9 victory over the Detroit Lions in one of the ugliest, weirdest games. I did not expect this game to look like that. A lot of positives, a lot of negatives. We'll get into all of them, but the good news is the Eagles get the win, and they moved to 8-2 on the year and are now on the fast track to getting first place in the NFC. I'm joined now by Dan Sileo, host of the National Football Show from 2 to 6 every single day, Monday through Friday. We'll be joined a little later on in the show by John McMullen. Big Sills coming right to you. Eagles get the win in a much-anticipated game of the regular season today. What'd you make of it, my friend? Your first thoughts?
Congratulations. You have now become the team that is winning games because of their defense and not because of their overpriced, overpaid offensive football team that you have, an overrated offensive football team. There is no doubt that that defensive football was absolutely a masterclass by Vic Fangio. I mean, Jalen Phillips has been an incredible addition to that team. Davis and Carter had sensational ball games. They were absolutely amazing. Every single thing you want to give with high praise to the way Vic brought pressure, everything. Now, when it comes to your shitty offense, once again, it is absolutely the worst show on turf. The quarterback is limited. He's terrible. And congratulations. You are solely winning football games because of your fabulous defense and your great defensive coordinator. Rams are the best team in football right now. It ain't that one-dimensional defensive football team because you guys basically can't get out of your own way on offense, and your coach is going to eventually cost you something, bro. You don't have the same people in the offensive line. You kept them in a ball game by going for it on fourth down. So, again, congratulations. Great praise for Vic. Brutal praise, or I should say ripping, on that absolutely awful offense that you have.
Yeah, we'll start with all of that. A lot of great stuff to talk about here, as you heard in Sill's opening remarks. Defense, a lot of good. Offense,
amazing.
A lot of bad. Nick Sirianni, not great, leaving him in the game. By the way, let's just start with this real quick. I got to say it. I know fans are going to jump on me about this because they just want to win the game, and I get it. I hate winning the game on that shoddy call like that. That pass interference call to end the game on Rock Ya-Sin. By the way, he had a great game today in man coverage on A.J. Brown, and they called that shit call on him. That was a stupid call, a stupid flag, an uncatchable ball, another bad throw from Jalen Hurts, one of many that he had tonight. Just a bad call there. I don't like, as a football fan, I don't like watching games end like that, but it did end like that. That was a pretty bad call there, Big Sills.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, at the end, they hopefully all add up the way that you're hoping that it adds up, where, the games are going to be officiated. And I'm not one to hang a game on officials, but I mean, look, the way that they missed that tush push when it came to calling Steen on that too, that was a terrible call by the officials. It's just not been a really good
I'm not here to say it was
no, I get it.
One way or the other. I just mean in that moment where Detroit did what they needed to do to get the ball back, and then they make that call. It is what it is. Birds win the game, guys, 16-9. I'll give you some numbers. We'll get into the positive and the negative of the game a little bit later on. We'll talk to John McMullen. We'll get to all the super chats tonight. It'll be a fun post-game show. There won't
be very much positive on the offense. It's all going to be a defensive show here. So for me,
there's not much positive.
For me, guess what? That's really what I love to talk about is defense, because your trash offense tonight kept that team in that football game. And I got to tell you, bro, they look as good as they did a year ago. I mean, they're picking up. And the opponents that they beat in 1 week in a 7-day period. I mean, Zander, you're talking about holding Green Bay to 7. You held them to 9 points in this ball game. That's a heck of a job, man. By the way, also, too, something to keep an eye on moving forward. The loss of Lane Johnson and Cam Jurgens, that's something moving forward, too, because as we talk always about the Eagles having great health, these next couple games coming up here are also going to play a factor if these guys are going to be out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely all good factors. Sills, I'm going to give you some numbers. Something we talked about on the shows this week. All right. And it stood out today and it came true today. We said if you can take away the Detroit's running game, you're going to put yourself in a position to win. Well, the Eagles did that and some. Jahmyr Gibbs had 12 carries for 39 yards. Obviously, had a lot of reception yards. David Montgomery had 6 carries for 27 yards. They combined sales 21 carries for 74 total yards on the ground. How about this stat line? Jared Goff was 14 of 37 for 255 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 pick. Obviously, the pick that happened earlier in the game. Jahmyr Gibbs did have 5 receptions for 107 yards. That guy's a hell of a football player. Jamison Williams, 4 for 88. Moving to Amon-Ra St. Brown, 2 for 42. He was pitiful tonight. Jalen Hurts was 14 of 28, so 50% completions, 135 yards through the air. He took 1 sack tonight. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries for 83 yards. Tank Bigsby, 4 carries for 34 yards. And Hurts ran the ball 10 times for 31 yards. A.J. Brown had 7 receptions for 49 yards tonight on 11 targets. Jahan Dotson, 2 receptions, 43 yards, including that big 34-yard gain. Nice play there. Dallas Goedert, 2 for 24. DeVonta Smith, 1 for 8 on 5 targets, and quite a bit of drops today. There's your stat line on the day, everybody. And real quick, just the team stats. Third down today, Eagles were 4 for 15 on third down, and Detroit was 3 for 13. And obviously the big number, Detroit was 0 for 5 on 4th downs. Birds defense showed up in a big way tonight. There's your stat line. Big Sales, let's start with the defensive side of the ball. I got my list of positives and I got my list of negatives. The positives are filled with the defense, Big Sales. Players, coaches, plays, all sorts of different shit. The negatives are filled with the offense. Let's start with the defense, Big Sales. How about Vic Fangio and what he was able to dial up today? He had Jared Goff in hell out there. Could not complete shit. What'd you see out there from the defensive side of the ball?
Dude, the best football player on the field was Nakobe Dean.
He's amazing.
I mean,
Nakobe Dean's amazing.
He was everywhere on that field. You know, and no disrespect to Jahad Campbell, I never thought that he was a liability when he was on the football field. But the additions of Dean and Phillips have transformed that defense. Just those 2 guys.
Yep.
And then the fact you got to give up a lot of love for Clint Hurt and how he's coaching up those 2 defensive tackles. You know, they may not be getting home to get in their hand. How many batted passes did Jared Goff?
Yeah, I think Jordan Davis had 3, I think.
And they were critical, too. They were 3rd down passes that they were forcing them to have to do. And, you know, Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down, we knew he was going to be awful aggressive. But, boy, I got to tell you, too, man, I mean, Detroit's defense played absolutely spectacular as well. Got to say this, dude. That Jahmyr Gibbs can freaking ball, man. Is he a player? You get him out in open space, he's special, man. He really is. And to keep him contained, I thought Zach Bond was sideline to sideline all night long.
Zach Bond is another player that is just – it's amazing this guy it took him to get to Bama or to Eagles and Vic Fangio to see it, because he is an unbelievable linebacker. Great read, great instinct, great speed, shoots the gaps. I mean, he's amazing sideline to sideline, as you said.
Those 2 guys really controlled the middle of the zone. I mean, they were just absolutely sensational, like keeping the perimeter. Jalen Phillips and setting the edge. How many big pressures did he have? How many big tackles did he have behind the line of scrimmage tonight, and how he played? Absolutely great. The entire defense. And, you know, I thought the secondary, you know, I saw Dory get beat.
Yeah, Dory had a good night, man.
But I thought he and all had a pretty decent night along on the other side, obviously, with Q. I thought they played pretty good back there, man. I didn't think any of the secondary guys, they shut Amon St. Brown down completely tonight. He was just a non-factor in the game.
Yeah, his body language was terrible. He dropped passes. Wasn't there. I mean, I thought he had
I thought he short-armed a couple catches out there, too, where he didn't go for the catches, because I think he was really intimidated by that secondary, that the Eagles and the pressure that they were bringing. I mean, there is no doubt that was just a masterclass on how you play defense, the pressure. Hey, man, how about the way Vic brings pressure, too, and the in-game feeling he has on when you just bring pressure. Jared Goff had nothing going tonight. He was rushed in his passes. He never really had a chance. And I got to tell you, Zander, I think that internal pressure really got to him as the game went on, because he wasn't able to step up in the pocket.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they really threw Jared Goff off the whole game. I mean, Sills, it started early. It kind of played out exactly like we said it could, and just in terms of if you get the Goff early and move him off his spot. Boy, Pumpkin Goff was out tonight, my friend.
Hey, did I not ask you a question prior to the going into the game? I said, you don't think this is going to be a 13-10 game, do you?
I know.
I mean, this thing almost ended up being a 13-10 ball game, kind of. I'm
16 to freaking 9.
Unbelievable.
Is it fair to say this? For all the great Eagles fans listening, thanks for being here, everybody. Hit the like button. The Birds are 8-2. I know you want us all to be super happy. Okay. I did this song and dance last week where we won 10-7. I was all pissed at the offense. I'm not going to do it again, but I will say this. Is it fair for Eagles fans to we got to accept this is who we are. We're a great defensive team, and we are an awful offensive team, and this is how we're going to win games? Every once in a while, you'll get a nice shot play. You'll get some offensive, some plays here and there.
What are you saying? What do you mean?
Overall,
I'm you from like last week. What do you mean, man?
Well, you and John were beating up on me last week. And
this is who you are, though, dude.
It is. It's who we are. It's who we are. This is our team. I mean, we got an unbelievable the good news is that defense is championship defense. If your defense plays like that, this is the beautiful part about it. I don't give a shit who we play. If your defense plays like that, you're going to be in every game. You will be in every game. Now, the offense is pretty shoddy. I agree. I think it's pretty awful, but you're going to be in every game, man, with the way this defense is playing right now.
Bro, right now you've got wins over Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Green Bay, Detroit, and I got to tell you, I still think there's two teams better than you. I think that the Denver Broncos and I think that the Los Angeles Rams are better right now because I think they're more balanced. And before anybody says we're not better than the Broncos, do you know the Broncos just today beat two teams that were in the Super Bowl in February? They beat the Chiefs and
they're building that similar resume where people were saying, hey, they're pretenders, but they're beating now enough teams.
Okay, well, they beat both teams that were in the Super Bowl.
You know what doesn't strike fear in me about the Rams? I mean, Sam Darnold throws 4 picks today, and that game comes down to a missed field goal, a 61-yarder at the buzzer. I mean, that game should have been a blowout.
Yeah, well, Seattle's good too, though, dude.
No, Seattle's amazing defensively. That's why they were in that game. But
correct.
I'm just saying, Darnold gives you 4 picks, and you're still in that football game. I think that's a team that we'll be able to manage.
Well, how about this though? Goff was terrible too, and they were still in that ball game.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean,
by the way, all right. Speaking of that, let's go right there. Nick Sirianni, what are you doing,
bro?
What are you doing?
There's no need to be aggressive there.
Zone. You can easily. This is a team that scored 1 touchdown in damn near 4 quarters. Pin them deep and call it a day.
Correct. And you had the game, and it was over.
I mean, that was
there's no reason for that. Why are you aggressive and non-aggressive moments?
I get it from a sense of like
they're
no threat on offense tonight and the game, but why go for it? And you're on your own 35-yard, 30-yard, wherever they were. That was the stupidest.
Stupid. And get this again. A second game in a row when it came down to decision-making at the end of the game, either with the players, whatever they did, and now that was clearly Nick. So this makes me believe this. Really was last week the players? So they went, what was the words everybody in Philly was using, rogue? This is 2 weeks in a row. Going on. And for whatever reason, he kept him in the ball game, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You cut out a little bit there, so I missed what you said after you said it was 2 games in a row. But no, I agree completely. I mean, Sirianni kept him in the game there, and it's becoming very evident. I mean, Vic Fangio is like, he's the adult in the room, man. He's the adult in the room here with this entire coaching staff. Kevin Patullo, I don't know if he knows from his ass from a hole in the wall when it comes to play calling. Nick Sirianni's making foolish decisions, keeping teams in the game. Vic Fangio's, holding this thing together. So it's pretty amazing the contrast between the coaches on this team.
What do you make of the passing game?
It's awful. What do you mean? What do I make of it? They were 14-28 with 130 yards. Yeah. They're terrible.
It's brutal.
And by the way, because I'm already seeing a trend happen.
It's brutal.
There's a lot of people saying, see, this is what happens when you target A.J. Brown. And I'm like, A.J. Brown didn't get any targets last week. The offense sucked. He didn't get any targets the first 8 weeks of the year. The offense sucked. Now he gets targets and the offense still sucks and people want to blame A.J. Brown. The offense just sucks, guys. It doesn't matter who they're targeting. When
That's
they
right.
targeted DeVonta, it sucked too.
That's right. Well, I mean, there's only one common denominator. I'm just saying. I mean, that defense has done a great job. That offense is a liability. They are a liability, man. They are just not a very good offensive football team.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the defense is going to play this good, though, maybe this risk-averse approach makes a lot of
guess
sense.
so. I
mean,
guess
if you
so.
don't
No
turn the
turnovers.
ball over and your defense is giving – I mean, think about this, Sills. You said this before we went on the air. We gave up 9 points to the Lions today and 7 points to the Packers a week ago.
16 points between the Lions and the Green Bay Packers, which is insane.
These were supposed to be two of the best offensive teams in the NFC.
Yes.
And we held them to 16 no, not even. Yeah, 15 points, 16 points in the last 2 weeks. Man, this defense is unbelievable, man. So, you know, that's very clear. That's what their MO is and what
will keep other teams in games is the fact that your offense is incompetent right now.
Yeah, I agree. Now let's talk about A.J. Brown.
That's what will keep opposing teams in games.
Let's talk about A.J. Brown a little bit. All right, he's obviously made the stink that he's had the last couple of weeks. He had the meeting with the owner and all sorts of different stuff happening, you know, with the targets. And then they come in and they target A.J. a lot more today. All right, I think he had 11 targets. I mentioned he had 8 catches. 7 catches for 49 yards on 11 targets today with a long of 12. So not necessarily anything downfield. And obviously he's getting scolded for the one play downfield where it looked like he kind of gave up on the route. I will remind everybody he wasn't catching that, no matter how much effort he gave on it. But you still want to see the effort. What you kind of make of that, and did that rub you the wrong way?
I think they just don't have good connection right now. So to me, that's what it looks like. I don't think the quarterback believes in what AJ's doing, and I don't believe that AJ believes the quarterback can get him the football. And I think that it really looks forced. That just looks forced to me on what they're trying to do in the passing game. I mean, dude, whatever they're doing, it's wrong. That is just not a very good offense right now. You bet, man, don't turn the football over, get enough yards in the run game for them to be able to win on defense. You're clearly winning on defense right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it one more time. Your offense is a liability.
It's hard for me to disagree with you. I mean, look at the output we're putting up on offense. We're not really doing a whole lot on offense. So very hard for me to disagree with you. Let's go to Saquon Barkley, Sills. I hate to do this.
How many times have I asked you this all year long going, is there something wrong? How many times have I asked you that? I ask you that for a reason each and every single week. Andrew, I'll ask you one more time. You think there's anything wrong with Barkley?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's becoming a little bit harder to say, hey, it's the offensive line. I mean, look, I don't think the offensive line is doing a great job in the run fits. They're not. Their run blocking is not nearly as good this year, but it's pretty. I mean, now you're looking at, what are we, 8-2? You're 10 games into the season. Saquon's probably averaging still under 4 yards a carry. He's a different player this year. There's no doubt. He's a different player. You know, I think he runs the ball a little bit differently. Looks like he's a little bit less apt to kind of go into tough spots of the field and run real hard. He gives up on plays, but, you know, maybe concedes plays a little bit more. Barkley's not the same player this year, you know, and I think the offense can have to adapt.
Gives a way better back than him right now.
Tough for me to disagree.
There's again, I agree. I think that Jurgens' injury has played a factor. I don't think Steen gives you the same stuff that Mekhi Becton gave. And Lane Johnson's now been in and out of the lineup the last couple of weeks, almost a month now, where he's been banged up with some type of injury.
Well, you know, Father Time sells weight to
I
nobody.
mean, I don't even really think Lane is really playing all that hot.
Yeah, he went down tonight too. So look, Father Time waits for nobody. So it's definitely something to consider, you know. But look, how do you feel about the Eagles after this game? I mean, look, this is the team. This was the team to beat. You know, we beat the Packers. We beat the Chiefs. We beat the Rams. We beat all these teams.
Right.
You know, I know it looks ugly, and I'm the first one to say it. I get it.
Okay.
But are you starting to feel like the team just wins games? Or are you still feel like they're not going to be a good playoff team? How do you feel about them right now?
I think that they have just as good a shot at winning the Super Bowl as any team in the NFC, and I still think that it's going to be a crapshoot on who wins this thing. Bro, your offense sucks. And if your offense was just average, Zander, I would say Xander, do you not agree? If your offense was average, you're blowing teams out. You're not even average. That's not average.
No,
you're not. I mean, how many 3-and-outs did you have? What were you on third down again? I mean,
third down. I know the Lions were 3 of 18 on third and fourth down. I'll get you our third down number here. We were 4 for 15.
Okay. Again, I mean, you're getting better on defense. It's getting better and better and better and elite on defense. And that offense is just not very good. Your passing game is one of the worst passing games for any. You know what? I'll make this comment to you, Zander. Of all the contending teams on both the AFC and NFC, you have the worst passing game in pro football.
Yeah, but is that proving to be maybe perhaps a little not overrated, but not as meaningful as we once thought?
Okay.
I mean, the team is 8-2. You know what I mean?
Well, ask yourself: do you think you'll need that in the playoffs?
Well, you would think so, but I think the running game is honestly more important for the playoffs.
Well, you don't have one.
You can say to me, Zander, fix one thing right now. If you had a magic wand, fix the running game or fix the pass game. I'll fix the running game every time.
You know what, too? And I got to say this. Let's 150 yards rushing. That's you're tipping on what's good. That's 150. You had 148 in the game. That's pretty good.
148. Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Okay, that's going to get it done. Let's be candid. Like you said, you were able to run the ball. They weren't able to run the ball, and that was the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, you know what else I think is good? The Eagles are going to need to rely on a little bit more here in the second half of the year. The Hurts runs. I mean, I'm not saying I want him to run 8 to 10 times, but 3 to 5 of those a game, they can really change the way.
How about that one that broke their back? That one design
on third down. I mean, that was such a great call right there to go to that. I think they got to keep those keep some of those run calls. And I'm not saying go over the top of it. I get it. You don't want to put Hurts in a bad position, but I think those things really open it up for the offense and change the way defenses can play you.
Absolutely. I just think that having that kind of Alexander. Okay, so what's the excuse that your offense is so not in sync?
Well, what do you think of Kevin Patullo? He's another name. Again, the Kevin Patullo name is hot on the press. It's on the pressure cooker. Fans all over the globe and all over social media are chirping about Kevin Patullo. How do you evaluate him today?
Well, drop passes and overthrows. That's not on Kevin Patullo.
I agree with that. How many drops do we have today?
I mean, your wide receivers were dropping passes and the overthrows. That's not on anything to do with the sidelines. Guy calls a play, and you're overthrowing the passes and you're dropping passes. I mean, dude. I mean, right? You got to be kidding me, man. I mean, some of that's just on player accountability too. When you get those kind of 3-and-outs like that, you're not going to get any chemistry going, and you're not going to get any continuity. That thing has no rhythm to it. It really doesn't.
No, I agree. Now let's talk about Jalen Hurts a little bit, Sills. I think there's a difference. I'm going to try and be specific here. And to me, there's a difference when you talk about offensive philosophy and kind of the macro view of the offense and why they haven't been a great passing team for a couple of years now. That's not really their MO. And then there's the micro, which is Jalen's just had a bad 2 games. I'm not talking about the whole macro philosophy. I'm talking about just throws that Jalen normally makes. He's just been a little bit more inaccurate. I don't know if it's the cold weather. The wind was obviously pretty bad tonight. Both quarterbacks were off the mark a lot, but I feel like Jalen's had a bad last couple of weeks just for plays that I'm used to Jalen making, over and over again. Do you notice that? Do you see it the same way? Do you think it's more of a macro thing? How do you view that?
Cold weather, well, just in, you play in Philly. So you better get that right, because as you're getting playoff months, that kid needs to play better in cold weather. I just think the passing game is just not on the same page. This is everything that A.J. Brown has been talking about. Nothing was fixed in this ball game. There was a lot of inconsistency and drops and also overthrows. I thought some of the play calling again was not very good in the ball game. But I also think, how many sacks did he take in the game? Did he take 3 sacks in the ball game too? They didn't really get to him. How about some of those times? I mean, Zander, there was one time in the game, he had like 4 minutes. He had like 4 seconds in the pocket. And even Collinsworth said, dude, he couldn't find anybody with 4 seconds. He couldn't see one guy open. I mean, they're just not very good right now.
Yeah, I mean, I do think they do some disservices to him. I mean, like there was a couple plays in there where you need to convert, and they legitimately had Grant Calcaterra and Kylan Granson blocking Aiden Hutchinson. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, in what world does that make any sense? What are we doing here? Why do we have these jumbo tight end sets with guys that can't block and can barely catch passes? I don't understand it.
Yep. Some of the personnel decisions that they had in there were questionable as well. But, dude, I mean, it's just not on the same page. And your defense, the way they made Jared Goff look tonight, they made him look like Jordan Love on Monday. I mean, they made him look – those two guys look the same. And that, to me, is what made me do this, Zander. That defense is now beginning to look, with all the losses they had, the addition of Jalen Phillips and Nakobe Dean have added a lot of speed and a lot of toughness to that football team. And look at the two guys that are having 2 good weeks in a row. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are benefiting having a guy on the edge like Jalen Phillips. You see that and how they're playing.
Dude, he's amazing.
And how those two guys are playing.
He's amazing. Down in that red zone, when the lines were close to get, he burnt Penei Sewell. Like it wasn't like went right around him on the outside on that fourth down in the red zone. By the way, that was great coverage by Dory Jackson. I think Dory Jackson had a good night. I know he got beat on the one play, but I think he had a good night.
Absolutely. Especially remember something, that offense was scoring 31 points a game coming in.
I know.
31 points a game. Okay.
Well, they put up 9 tonight.
Think about that. 31 points a game. And they theoretically pitched a shutout as far as I'm concerned.
How bad? Is it just me, or was Dan Campbell horrendous tonight?
Horrendous. I mean, listen, if he kicks all those field goals, you're on the road. Get the freaking points. Listen, I know you got to be aggressive. I said he had to be aggressive. Right. But, dude, if he kicks all 4 of those field goals, he wins the ball game. Get the points. And get this. When you saw that this was going to be a defensive game and you weren't going to score in the red zone, both teams weren't going to score in the red zone. You've got to get points, dude. I mean, I think, listen, if it was a shootout and teams were giving up yardage, no team was – the Lions, I thought, played exceptionally well on defense too. I mean, they were awesome. I mean, they held them to what? How many touchdowns did you guys get in the game? 1? You guys got one touchdown in the game? They held the offense to 1 touchdown in the ball game. I mean, dude, at the end of the day here, man, I mean, you got to kick those extra points. I mean, you got to kick those field goals, and you've got to score points when you're on the road like that, especially in bad weather.
Yeah, no, Jake Elliott was a win tonight, man. 3 for 3 on the field goal tonight. Yeah, and big weather like that. No doubt about it. That's a big win. That's a big win for the Eagles, no doubt. Good stuff there. We're going to get to some super chats in a little bit. We appreciate everybody.
Game tonight. What do you make of Jalen Hurts' game?
I thought he was off. I thought, and again, I'm not talking about the macro. I'm not talking about the offensive approach. I'm not talking about the conservative nature. I just think Jalen missed throws tonight that I'm used to him making. I mean, there was that one throw down the sideline to Saquon Barkley. He had Saquon on Jack Campbell. That's the exact matchup you want. Running back on linebacker, totally burnt him, and Hurts missed the throw. That would have been a walk-in touchdown. There was a couple of throws there that I thought Jalen missed that I'm used to him missing. The wind was a factor, obviously. The weather was a factor in the game. But, the one thing I'm taking from the game tonight, as we sit here and, just crossing over midnight, the game just ended a little bit ago, probably about 30 minutes ago. Sills, I get it. The offense is tough. And I get it. Some people are going to be mad at that. Some people don't want to hear the bitching about it. Everybody's got a great offense, Sills, until they play the Eagles.
Yes.
But this defense is good enough to keep us in every game. I don't give a shit who we play.
Okay.
Every game. That was the team, though, that would have exposed us. Okay. That was the offense that would have exposed us.
Well, actually, I think the Rams can too. But like you said here, if that defense can keep us in games, your offense is not winning games for you. It's just not. It's your defense that's winning games. And so if you play like that, Zander, it's going to come down to games just like that in each and every single time. If you get a turnover, you lose. Your margin for error with that style of play is 0. It's 0. You don't.
I mean,
Look. Do you agree? If you have 2 turnovers in the football game,
game's
you
done.
lose that. It's over, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, they don't turn the ball over. They also don't push the ball downfield very well. But you get the win in prime time. I get it. Everybody's all fired up. It's a good win. You moved to 8-2. The good news is the Eagles do have the inside track now to get the first seed in the NFC. They really should be able to do that considering all the teams they beat at this point. So I feel pretty good about where the Eagles are from that perspective. They got the Cowboys next week, and then they'll have the Bears on Black Friday. That should be a good one too. Bears sitting top of the NFC North right now.
I think that the Cowboy game, if Lane and Cam aren't playing, will be an interesting game. You, in my opinion, right now, I'll tell you that I believe that you're going to win that game. But if you don't have, and you're starting Fred Johnson, and if you're starting Brett Toth in that ball game against the Dallas Cowboys, that's going to be an interesting ball game. Because I don't care what you say. You lose Lane Johnson and you lose Cam, that's a drop in talent.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can.
Fred Johnson, it's not Lane Johnson.
Yeah, you're better equipped to prevail without Cam. Is something they've already had to do this year. Lane is going to be a big one. I mean, Lane Johnson's been a staple on this team for decade plus. So that's going to be a tough one to overcome. Thanks everybody for being here. Hit that like button. We'll take comments in the chat, man. Drop your guys super chats. A lot of different takes. A lot of people, not feeling good, not feeling satiated by the win because of the ineptness of the offense, and some people just. A win's a win. Move on to the next week. That's the main goal. I get all sides. We'll take all comments.
Well, Zander, again, I think the positive is that the defense is starting to trend. That one of the cheapest defenses, the second cheapest defense in pro football, because of all the Timu signings to take John's line, has absolutely just shined. And the most expensive and the most overrated and the most overhyped and the most underutilized offense in pro football is stagnant right now. It's a ship without a rudder.
Is the no holes defense back, or are we still on no holes?
I'll tell you what, you could call them that this week. Inside of 7 days, you stop the Lions and you stop the Packers. Yeah. You could make that comment right now. Zander, that was sensational. That was sensational on defense tonight. I mean,
it really was
over the top sensational on defense.
Jared Goff
that was better than Monday.
Has Jared Goff ever in his career had a worse completion percentage? 14 of 37.
He was leading the NFL at 74% coming in,
which is insane, by the way.
Yeah, he was leading the National Football League in completion percentage.
He completed 38% of his passes tonight.
I would say that that's probably his worst night in his career.
14 of 37 tonight, man. Look, I get it. The offense is not good, but this defense is really shaping up to be an unbelievable unit.
Bro, you know what? The week you had 8 quarters of football are against quality football teams.
Yeah, and they're building too on each week. They're getting better and better each week, it appears. So good stuff there from the defense. Appreciate everybody for being here. Birds get the win tonight, 16-9. Got some help from the officials late with a bad pass interference call on Rocky Sin. I did not think that was a PI at all, but the Eagles get away with one after a shitty Nick Sirianni decision. Nick, don't ever think it, my guy. I mean, what are we doing here, Nick?
Dude,
punt the ball away. Come on.
I may have to get I may have to get my guy. I may have to get my guys Angelo Cataldi on too, bro, because after what we saw there with that man, there's no question about it that we're talking about a guy right now that's just not getting it done, dude. I mean, so whatever, you know what I'm saying?
No,
you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, man. I hear you. Let's go to some super chats. So let's see what the great people of JAKIB Nation are saying. After another win, first one, Josh Herman, $20 super chat. Thank you, Josh. Zander, Jalen is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league. He is carried by the talent around him. The defense played lights out, and the Lions beat themselves. But this team is not a Super Bowl team. Jalen sucks. Team AJ. Wow.
I don't subscribe to that. You're 8-2. You've got quite a resume. But to coaches' comments that he's made, by the way, he'll be Monday. You could make the argument in some cases that football team wins in spite of him.
Well, I mean, we certainly don't have a great offense, and that's obviously, the quarterback. Again, people want to.
Now, who do you blame more, the quarterback or the coaches for that?
Well, I get it. Fans love to go right to Patullo. And I'm not here to tell you that I think Patullo is doing a great job. But at the end of the day, the quarterback has to bear some blame.
He's got to make plays.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It has to be a little bit here on Jalen Hurts. We can't just completely absolve him of it. Woo. So, Josh, I think you're going a little far there.
Yeah.
But, I hear you. I think Jalen's got to be better. I think the last 2 weeks he's been a little off.
Hey, Josh, you're Zander last week. Right there with that take.
Here's Dante. Respectfully, John, you can stop with the what about Campbell snaps. The way Dean is playing, that man should get as many snaps. Oh, yeah. Dean is lights out, dude.
Yeah.
I think they should pay Dean.
He's playing himself into a contract. That's for damn sure.
I think they should pay Dean.
I mean, by the way, man, hey, Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith, I have completely forgotten about those guys. Those guys are nice pieces to your team. That dude over there on the other side, Jalen Phillips, that's your homie, man. That's the guy that's making the thing run.
Wait, so that now this is not a post-game show conversation, but if you think about it, two names emerging on defense that you weren't expecting to pay, and you're now probably looking like we got to pay them guys. Who's in, who's out? Reed Blankenship. Things are looking bleak when you got guys like that coming along. We'll see what they do. Dante, appreciate the super chat, man. Dean has been excellent. Dober's Army, what's up, Dobers? Big Sills, I'd like to introduce you to career outdoor game Jared Goff stats, baby. That's so true.
Hey, we thought that could be a problem heading into the winter game here tonight. That you got a dome team going into Philadelphia. Boy, I'll tell you, man.
Pumpkin golf tonight, right?
Yeah, they just crushed him, man. He was seeing ghost. He was bad in the pocket. That's the worst I've seen Jared Goff since the Super Bowl when the Patriots beat him and held him to 7 points. And the Patriots ended up winning that game. What was it, like 14-6, 14-7, whatever it was? They ended up taking that Super Bowl. That's the worst I've seen him play in a long time because that dude did not look very good. The internal pressure was great. Dude, Clint Hurt, he has done marvelous things. And how about this guy, too? Hey, watch this. Jordan Davis.
Yeah, baby.
Hell of a game.
You say him.
Hell of a game.
He's having a great year, man. Jordan Davis is really starting to make an impact.
Hell of a game for him. Hell of a game for him.
He was good against the run tonight, too, dude. He stuffed the run many a times up there. So
hell of a game.
Those guys, defensive tackles are playing really good.
In my opinion, I think he's outplaying Carter this year so far.
Well, Carter's starting to really make his impact.
I'm talking about from week 1 till now.
I think that's fair.
Outplayed him.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Here's Pumper.
Obviously, Carter has more talent, but I think he's been more consistent.
I get what you're saying. Here's Pumper. Sorry, man. The last 2 weeks we had the most outrageous fourth downs I've ever witnessed. Sorry, man. Hurts his booty cheeks.
Okay, but now do this. As bad as the offense, the Eagles have – hey, listen, man. Here's the Eagles. They're terrible on offense. They're sensational on defense. So the more we talk about the bad, which is the offense, you should hang more in the side of the defensive side of the ball. Think about the economic dollars you're getting on that side, too. How many guys are on rookie contracts? How many guys aren't you paying that you're getting that type of performance from? And just think of this on the other side, how overpaid and how producing that offense is. The quarterback's not producing. The receivers aren't really producing. The running back's not producing. It's a tale of two sides of the ball. I'll tell you what else was really great tonight. I thought your kick coverage and your special teams was really good tonight because I thought they pinned him a bunch of times in the red zone, and I really thought they did a nice job on special teams tonight.
Agreed. Good stuff. Pumper, appreciate the super chat, my man. Here's Jason A-Team. What's up, A-Team? Thank you for the $20 super chat, brother. Appreciate it. Dean is a game wrecker this game. Glad AJ got some run. Jordan Davis, all pro. I don't know if all pro, but maybe. Carter, great too. Congrats to the first positive play of Reed Blankenship. Phillips is the real deal. This is a championship deal. I agree 100%.
Absolutely. A lot of things in here. Davis will not be a first-team All-Pro. He could make the Pro Bowl, though, which would help him on his contract. When you're talking about contract extensions, making a Pro Bowl would help him. It would elevate him probably to a Tier 2 if you're going to talk contract extension. So I think Reed Blankenship probably had his best game of the year so far and how they did a really nice job in the secondary. The loss of Sam Laporta was obviously felt across the middle of the field for the Detroit Lions tonight. Once they got into the red zone, Zander, or once they got into scoring position on that side of the ball, they really didn't have anybody threatening the middle of the field except for Jahmyr Gibbs, who was just absolute. I thought Jahmyr Gibbs was the best football player on the field tonight.
Dude, is he as a football fan?
No, I didn't realize he was that good.
I know Eagle fans are just like they hate everybody. As a football fan,
sensational.
That guy in open space,
it's
what
unbelievable.
a treat to watch. He is.
No doubt.
I mean, he's unbelievable. He runs around guys, makes it look so easy. It's amazing. He is a really talented.
Look how many times that he outran the perimeter to get out wide and just outrunning guys. And like Collinsworth said, you don't do that in the pros, dude. That's not seen in the pros. He's a special football player.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good stuff, Jason. Appreciate your super chat, my man. Jair, what's up, brother? Nakobe Dean, wow. Sills was right about Carter and Davis batting balls down. Phillips, long-term. Dean, too. Offense is atrocious. It's pathetic. Jair, you summed up how I feel about the Eagles in one time.
You summed up the game tonight. The offense is pathetic.
By the way, Nakobe's return 2 weeks ago, he changed his defense, dude. He completely changed his defense.
He did. You could, we noticed it immediately, too.
100%.
I mean, we just started noticing it, and the healthier he gets. Now, again, Zander, let's keep this and keep knocking on wood here with this, You're hoping the kid makes it through the season because then you know what you're doing? You're also, and get this, you're not in any hurry, are you, with Jalen Campbell? You're not in any hurry.
No, yeah,
he's not a rookie contract, dude.
Right.
So if he has to sit behind these two guys, hey, in 2 years, you know what? You may be moving off of Bond anyway. So your starting linebackers will be Campbell and Nakobe Dean.
That doesn't bad,
right.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, man. And Dean's been amazing. So I'm giving him an extension. There's no doubt about it. I would. I get it, the injuries, but it's football, man.
Hey, Zander, I've never talked about a team like this in my entire life where I went like this. Dude, I can't believe the greatness of what you're watching, things growing.
Dude, this defense is special. This is a special defense.
Okay, Mike, but here's my point. Your offense is the worst of any contending team I've ever seen. Ever I've ever seen.
We're turning back the clock, man. We turn back the clock, man. This is a defensive football team. Defense, hey, what do they say, Sills? Defense wins championships. Why did you guys win so much at mine? Well, I guess you guys had a great offense too.
But you still got to run the ball, don't you think? Now, again, they ran at 148. 148's a good night, dude.
Well, Tank Bigsby.
148's a good night.
I think Tank Bigsby's a great change of pace back for this team, man. They need that because the Lions were dropping their safeties in the box a lot. When you have that, you need to get north to south, and Tank Bigsby's
more explosive to me than Barkley.
I agree. He hits that hole quick, man. Barkley, I think, is thinking a little too much. He's almost like waiting for the breakout, and he's looking for that home run all the time. Just get upfield, man. Just get downfield, pick up 5 yards, So, I don't know. It's something to keep an eye on here. Kakoa says, Sills said I was crazy to say our defense is better. Wrong again, big guy.
Yeah, well, you got 2 games, guy. Let's do this here, guy. Let's see if you finish number 1 overall in the National Football League this year. You're going to move up a lot for what you did tonight, and you really stopped a good offense tonight. But hang in there, kid. It's 8 quarters of football with having a Phillips and also with Dean in there. I'd hang in there a little bit.
And here's Mac. He says, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit from A.J. Brown for the rest of the year from here on out. Look, you're going to see this a lot, but Mac, A.J. Brown, I know people are going to be on his ass, but A.J.'s not the problem.
No.
They didn't target A.J. last week. They targeted DeVonta and Goddard, and the offense still stunk. Now they target A.J. and the offense stinks. That's not the problem. The problem on offense didn't show up when they started targeting A.J. Brown.
Let me ask you something. Do you think if you had Andy Reid calling plays, you'd be better? I don't.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I do not. I do not, man. I mean, listen, again, like I said, I think your quarterback is limited. I think he's limited, man. Now, all of that tonight wasn't on him. There were a ton of drop passes tonight. So that's on the receivers as well. But, dude, he's limited. I mean, the entire offense is limited, actually.
Well, I will say this. It's tough to look at this offense and not imagine, not just wonder, why doesn't the ball move better? Like we have all this talent, all these playmakers. We can't move the ball a little better. I don't need to be the best offense in football. I don't need to even be a top 10. We can't move the ball a little better. I think that's fair, but look, this is a defensive football team. We're going to win
a game where another team outrushed you and had more total yards than you. So just keep.
I am going through the phases of enlightenment, Sills. I am.
Yeah.
I am.
You mean you're having an epiphany here?
I am accepting that our offense sucks. Okay,
you're having an epiphany.
We're a defensive team. We win ugly and we suffocate teams defensively. That's how we win games. I'm good with it.
You're having an epiphany here tonight, where you're like
If
you're
you want
coming
to call
to
it an epiphany, if you want to call it that, then you can call it that.
Okay, well, like you're now coming to the grips of it that this is who you are, right? You're gonna have these bad-looking offensive football games. You're not gonna turn the ball over. You're gonna win.
We won a Super Bowl last year with the 29th ranked passing offense in pro football. And now we are once again an awful passing offense, and we're 8-2. And we're awful running offense.
Second rushing, though, too, last year.
Yeah, but we suck at rushing this year, too. What's the story now?
Oh, no. You were 8th total last year.
I know.
Of that rushing attempt.
But we are 8-2 with the rushing game sucking and the passing game sucking. Like, at what point is it just like, all right, I mean, we're just a defensive team.
And do me a favor, too. I don't want anybody to tell me about Nick Dangerfield Sirianni, that he's sitting there telling me that this guy is some savant of a coach when you kept the Lions in the football game. This is 2 weeks. Sorry, I'm not buying that rogue bullshit. This is 2 weeks in a row now that this guy has had brain farts out there on the field. Way to go, guys. The guys and the players were trying to cover for the guy. He did it again. This is the same scenario you had on Monday night. You gave the opposing team an opportunity to stay in the ball game. Now, what's the excuses, Bob Lang?
I think Vic Fangio is the MVP of the Eagles. You agree with that?
Oh, my dude. Absolutely. I'll tell you this, man. I think the guy Spagnuolo is great in Kansas City. John might be right, man.
Yeah, John. I think John's right on this. Vic is amazing, dude. He's amazing.
He's great.
He torments these quarterbacks. They don't know what hit him. Jared Goff looked like he was a different player on the field tonight than has been out there for the first 10 weeks. Different player.
Can I tell you what beat you in that Bronco game? Sean Payton being aggressive, going for 2.
And he's a good coach. You know,
and he's a good coach. They're 9-2 now.
Yeah, they're impressive too.
I mean, and you know what? Kansas City has no shot to win the West now.
They're similar to the Eagles.
They're totally similar. They run the ball. The quarterback makes plays by extending plays. They got an A.J. Brown and that guy Cortland Sutton.
Well, yeah, I don't want to go that far, but maybe. Well, look, here's the thing about them.
No. I mean that style. They got one big play.
Yes, right. And they're similar from a sense of you watch them and you're like, this team doesn't look that good. But then they win all these big games. They win all the games that you don't expect them to win. And you're like, all right, at what point do you tip the cap? Same thing with the Eagles. The outsiders of the NFL who don't watch the Eagles week in and week out, they probably turned on the Eagles the last 2 weeks and they're like, what the hell? This team is not that good. But we keep winning. You know, the Broncos are similar. Great offensive line, great defense, great run game, and a quarterback that makes just enough plays with a good coach.
This just in. That was the worst offensive performance of the last 2 years based on EPA per drive. That was the Eagles' second best defensive performance of the last 2 years based on EPA per drive. I mean, bro, that's what you have right now on your football team. You have one of the worst offenses in the league, and you have one of the greatest defensive performances going on. Dude, in a 7-game period. Or a 7-day period, you stymied some pretty good offenses, dude. That's averaging between 28 and 31 points a game.
No doubt. Matt, appreciate the super chat, brother. Let's keep rolling here. Gina, what's up, Gina? Calls evened out. Be real. Neutral zone missed AJ, chop blocked. Who else do we need to beat? Defense wins titles. Yeah, but it was just a bad call at the end of the game.
Yeah, but that chop block.
But you don't have to justify by saying the calls even out. Okay, that's fine. The calls even all out. That was a shit call at the end of the game. Totally. Be real with yourself. When you look yourself in the mirror, be honest, Gina. Yeah. Come on, man.
I get what she's saying because there was a lot of missed calls in that ball game. But to your point too, at the end of the ball game, bro, you gotta let him. You gotta let him play too. You know,
situation. It's a situational thing there.
Gotta let him play.
Freddie says Jalen Phillips is a game changer. I agree 100%.
Dude, we said you'd love him.
Yeah,
we said you'd love him, man. And boy, I'll tell you. Hey, if you're Miami and you're watching this right now and you're watching that kid terrorize, hey, dude, he keeps playing the way he's playing. He's going to get that. He's going to get that $25 million per year contract, man. He really is. He's going to get that, and they'll probably get him in March. I got to tell you, Drew Rosenhaus is exceptionally excited about what he's seeing right now. Can you imagine this too, Xander? Drew Rosenhaus is Jalen Carter, and he has Jalen Phillips. So one guy's going to get $35 million, and the other guy's going to get $25 million. He gets around 8% of the salaries on what he's going to get. Just off those two dudes alone, he may be making north of $13 million. How you doing?
Yes, sir. No doubt about it. By the way, 25. If Jalen Phillips keeps playing like this, 25 might be light.
Hey, he could be a 28 near $30 million guy for sure.
Considering when the top edge rusher's making 48, it wouldn't surprise me. Junior says, low IQ fans are happy about constant wins like this. We can't rely on our defense every week. It's a different game if Lions take the field goals. Bad coaching. I don't disagree with that.
Absolutely. That's the point. There's no margin for error.
Junior, I think you're a weak.
You've got a pathetic offense and you've got a sensational defense.
Junior's 1 week back from the enlightenment that I've gone through.
Hey, a pathetic offense and a great defense is exactly what you have.
You're right.
Isn't that hard to take too? I mean, with all that talent you have over there, how bad it is? Or now are you having this truly an epiphany here going like this?
It's not really an epiphany. It's like at some point you have to believe your eyes. You know, I've been expecting more and wanting more, but they don't ever give more. They're just a bad offense, you know, and the defense is offense. It is what it is. Right. She said Dotson is positive on offense. Great wide receiver 3. Well, it doesn't get many opportunities, but it does seem to make the most of it.
I said it is what it is last week. This guy gave me a ton of shit for that. Wait a minute. You gave me it is what it is. Okay, I'm with you on that.
You should take that as a compliment. It means you were right, man. It means you were right. All right. Here's Bird Gang. Whether AJ gets 3 targets or 11 targets, the offense still looks like dog shit. So that's what I was getting at earlier. People blaming it on AJ. It's like it's not on AJ.
No. It's the coordinator. It's the quarterback's limitations. It's the approach. It's all of it, man. It's guys getting older. Hey, by the way, do we not start to do this? Hey, Lane is starting to break down.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough to hear, but it's father time and it waits for nobody. There's no doubt. It's become a consistent thing.
Okay. Lane's breaking down now.
Remember why I told you we're drafting an offensive lineman in round 1.
Okay. Well, that looks like it's probably going to be a fact, especially if you're going to be picking at 32. If you guys are going to win a Super Bowl, you're going to be picking down there at 32. Without a doubt, Lane's starting to break down. And I would say that some of the tire tread is starting to come off of Barkley as well.
And we'll talk. There's not much evidence to dispute that at this point. Here's Catch. Notice the personnel on plays. Tight end 3, tight end 2, block. Catch, we brought this up. Why do they do that?
They
had a crucial, I think it was a 3rd down play. They had Grant Calcaterra and Kylan Granson chip blocking Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm watching it and I'm going, what's that? What are you trying to accomplish with that? They were so poorly designed plays, and the personnel alignment was terrible in this game, dude. Dude, I don't believe they know what direction. What's the identity of your offense, you think?
Right now? 1, 2, 3 punt.
What the identity is with your defense? Pressure
and physicality. They're physical, dude. Speed, true. Defense is great, man. I don't have a single complaint.
Dude, they're ball hawks over there on that side.
I don't have a single complaint on defense.
No, do I. Not one. There's not one complaint on defense.
I thought even
as a matter of fact, I don't know how anybody in Philly would not be impressed with what Vic has done with these guys and Howie and finding the guy. By the way, kudos to Roseman for knowing his mistakes he made in the offseason and correcting them. That's the correction and the pivoting that I was talking about last week. He pivoted and brought guys in that were going to help. By the way, you don't think Jalen Phillips has helped Adoree Jackson?
Oh, 100%.
He's helped him big time.
Yep, no doubt about it. No doubt. Catch, good stuff, man. Appreciate it. Here's Sasha. Best team in the NFC. Everybody has a great offense until they play us. Great take. Damn, we have a better coach than Detroit and LA. How many points Campbell left on the field? We failed on a 98% play. Oh, that's a bad way to look at it, Sasha. And that plays
not a shitty offense, Sasha. A shitty offense. The worst of any contending pro team in the league.
Is it even? Are they even starting to convince you, though, that maybe we don't need as good of an offense as we think?
Oh, they've already convinced me. I've already been convinced. I'm not shocked where they are. I am not shocked. Because
Yeah, but you have been saying you don't think we're going back to the Super Bowl.
Remember, I also said you're not going to get better offensively.
I know.
I still don't. No. I said this. No, I don't think you are. I don't. But okay. I think you're going to be in. I think you're going to be in the conversation to be.
That's fair.
I think you're in that room with the Rams. I think you're in that room with Detroit. Hey, by the way, Detroit had a really great defensive night too. Yeah,
they did. Here's Cal. I'll get to as many as I can. We'll get to all the top paid ones. I will read all super chats, but I won't be able to do it all in the first 90 minutes of the show here. We got John McMullen coming up shortly as well. Khaled says, the offense is putrid. We need to draft O-line this upcoming draft. Father Time is starting to creep on to Lane Johnson, and Hurts needs to take a long look in the mirror. It's going to bite us later. I don't know if I'm starting to come off that it's going to bite us later because that's where I've been. But when you can take the Lions offense, which is one of the best offenses in football in the last 2 years, and hold them to 9 points, I mean.
Well, so you're going to do that. You think you're going to do that for 3 games?
I'm not saying you're going to do that every week, but I do think that offense can, or that defense.
No, I mean in the playoffs. You think you're going to do that without Lane Johnson on your football team too? We got to find out again. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
We're playing without Lane. The offense is going to suck.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
If we have a bad injury on defense, then that's going to change some things. But the defense right now is keeping us in every single game.
Every game.
Doesn't matter who we play.
That's right.
So it's tough to go off that. Here's Senor. What's up, Senor? Sirianni and Hurts still feel out of sync. Something is clearly off between the QB and the staff. No tush push on 3rd and 1. That was weird. Like Nick clock management. Reed can call plays and Nick can't. It's true.
That's right. The play calling is not very good. The quarterback is limited, and the receivers and the quarterback in the passing game are completely off. And the run game, you know what happens to the run game to me sometimes, Xander? I watch it. They seem to get it going, and then all of a sudden, it just stops. There's no consistency even to the run game. And I'm starting to believe that really some of this has got to be on Barkley too. It's just got to be on Barkley, man. I mean, I know he's waiting for the home run. And you heard Collinsworth even say it. God, he's close. It just looks like he wants to hit his head on the goalpost. Whereas, like you said with Bigsby, and he jams it up in there, gets 10, 13 yards, and he just looks more like a battering ram on what they've done.
That's what it feels like with Saquon. It's almost like he's waiting to make that highlight play. Dude, just run. The highlight plays will come. Just run, get upfield, get your 5 yards. Do that consistently. The big plays will come. That's how it happened last year.
Yeah, that's when I'm watching Barkley right now. I'm not seeing that same guy that I saw a year ago, where he was just hitting the hole and he was just absolutely going nuts in there. I got to tell you too, who's having a better year than him right now? DeAndre Swift's having a better right now. Just to tell you that there's a lot of guys. This kid Gibbs is sensational, dude. Barkley has some tread off him, man. I get the O-line, I get the play calling. I get nothing's in sync right now. Man, this is just bad. I mean, if you are on defense, dude, you're going to win games just like this. 16-9, 13-10. You might run yourself into a Super Bowl doing this.
I wonder what the organization's thought process is on that.
They're not very happy with what they saw tonight offensively. They're exceptionally happy. 2 things can be true, Xander. When you're evaluating a team, they've got to be over the top with the amount of money they're not spending on defense, on how things are looking and how things are working, and how Vic and some of the pieces that Howie has had, how they're fitting. But they are, without a doubt right now, they are very disappointed in what's happening on that side of the football. I would not be shocked if there's questions all week long about Kevin Patullo and how they're going to go at him, because he's the easy scapegoat. And all you have to do is look at the game, Xander. How many drop passes did you have in the ball game? There were a ton in the game. That's not Kevin Patullo on the sidelines. Catch the freaking ball, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you. Here's William Robinson. What's up, William? Thanks for the big super chat. Thanks, everybody, for the super chats. Don't worry. I'll get to everyone before I'm out of here tonight. It's already 12:30. I could be on till late into the night, my friends. William says, if we can keep an OC for more than a year, we might have some continuity for once on offense. You cannot compliment an average passer with a new offensive coordinator yearly. Jalen just might be able to grow if that changes. It's a fair take.
Well, don't you realize that the one coordinator that he did have that helped him grow, he had Steichen for a year and a half. Yeah. You know, he had him for that 2021 season right after the first 4 games. He took over. They went on that great run. Then they had him in a 22 Super Bowl run. That was don't you agree, Zander? That's the best you saw his growth, where he was growing into being a player. And ever since they took him away, they've stunted that growth. They've gone the other way. They've hired coordinators for Nick and not for the quarterback.
Look, it's fair enough. And you want to, William, if you want to get even more angry at the offense, and I'll say this to everybody listening right now, if you want to get even more angry at the offense, go type in 2022 Eagles offensive highlights and go watch some of what they were able to do in the 2022 season. It's amazing what they were able to do.
What are they trying to accomplish with this 2 tight end thing they're doing?
I don't know. Because it's not even the right tight ends. It's not. You don't even. It's not, if you had a blocker, okay. It doesn't even make sense. And by the way, they're marginal. They're marginal additions in the passing game, if that.
What I don't know what they're doing.
It's a waste of a guy on the field, in my opinion.
It really does. It's like a wasted play. Like you're trying to, dude. Wait a minute. I'm putting those 2 guys. Get the fucking ball to AJ and DeVonta, dude. Figure out how to. You get this. So they came up with this way, Zander, of putting 2 obscure tight ends in an offensive set, right? And they didn't come up with ways to get the ball to AJ and to DeVonta at the same time and Goddard. Who gives a shit about 2 obscure guys who are lucky to be on the team? Those 2 tight ends are lucky to be on the ball team, and you're putting them in your offense? Man, I don't get that.
No, I'm with you. Good stuff on all the supers, everybody. We appreciate it. I'll get to all of them before we're out. Sills, I want to talk a little bit more about this defense, all right? Because they are the positive. They are the big thing to take away from this. Not only are they the positive, but they're the biggest takeaway from the game in general.
It's the only takeaway, really.
Yeah, so listen to this stat, Sills. On throws beyond the line of scrimmage, Jared Goff was 7 for 27 for 140 yards and an interception. That's a 25.9% completion percentage, the second lowest in a game by any quarterback in the next-gen stats era. I mean, that is amazing.
With a quarterback
7-9 for context for behind the line of scrimmage.
With a quarterback who was leading the league in completion percentage, and I think if I'm not mistaken, he was right there a year ago.
Yeah.
When it came to completion percentage, and the way you shut him down, bro, maybe again, you talk about Jordan Love on Monday night. I'm out on him. This is another quarterback that they just absolutely blew out this on Sunday night. I mean, incredible performance. It really is. Now, again, the reason I don't think you're Super Bowl bound is because you have a top-flight Super Bowl defense and you have a one-and-done offense.
I just wonder if they're going to be able to continue to prevail with this offense because they've been able to do it. I mean,
that's going to be the storyline.
Yeah. I mean, how far will this offense take
them?
How
far can that offense, that's exactly right. How far can that offense limp along until it becomes a thing? That's the question, Zander. The defense is getting better and better and better. Would you not agree the offense has gotten worse and worse since a year ago?
Yeah, I think it has. I think that's fair to say. I mean, they don't push the ball down the field at all. They're really bad on offense. They're just not a good offensive football team.
It's terrible. It's just terrible right now.
It's almost painful to talk about because
as an Eagle fan, watch.
I know, but you're not an Eagle fan, so it's easier for you to just be like, I think we're 8-2, so I'm like, all right, I'm happy we won, but
great resume
why
too.
does this thing suck so bad?
Hey, I've seen. Listen to this. Nobody believes that the Denver Broncos at 9-2 is going to win a Super Bowl. Okay, nobody believes that. I know, and nobody in Philly believes it. And get this, it's funny. Nobody believes in Denver, and they beat you because they think they got lucky. Well, I think you're getting lucky too with your shitty offense. That's my takeaway. I mean, your defensive football team.
Are we getting lucky, or are we just playing old school football? I mean, defense wins championships.
Okay.
Is what they say.
So you think playing shitty offense is old school offense? There's nothing redeemingly good about it.
No, yeah, you're right about that.
A year ago, you were great running the ball, right? You were going to win doing that.
I just mean more from a sense of the defense is what wins us our games, and that's more old school. Where like in the modern game, always passing games. You know what I mean? You know how it's gone.
Yeah, but usually when you have a team like that, they have one dynamic on offense they do great. That goes on like the Ravens. The year they won the Super Bowl and had that great defense,
Right.
They had Jamal Lewis running the football, and they ran the ball, and that's how they won that 2000 Super Bowl. Everybody has some type of something they do great on offense. You don't do anything well on offense.
No, we really don't.
No, but really, think about it. What do you do well on offense? Not turn the ball over. No question about it. And we're going to hear, the question will be, what's the over-under? Risk averse when John comes on. 10? Because he's not wrong, though. I'm not goofing on him. But
I'm like almost at a point where I never want to hear the phrase risk averse ever again in my life. I've reached my lifetime quota on usage for that phrase. Like, I don't need to ever say it again. I'm so done with that fucking phrase.
Hey, Zander, I had to look it up. I was like, okay, he's not, but I'm not ripping him. He's not wrong. He's just
no, I know you're not ripping him. I get it. I get it. So, it is what it is. So here's Nick. He commented on the fourth down decision, Sills. He says, Nick Sirianni, the fourth down decision, basically said it didn't work, so it's on him. He says if it did work, that would have drained them out of timeouts and killed time off the clock. He says he trusts his players.
Okay. That's not an excuse for a shitty call. Dude, get this. You had the game. You kick it, you make them go 90. Instead, what you did was you were going to give them a chance to go 45 to win the football game.
Trusting your players to the point where you'll trust them to your own demise.
So wait a minute. Are you saying to me that you trust the players to cover shitty mistakes?
That's what I mean. You trust them to your own demise. It doesn't make sense. It's bad coaching. I mean, somebody's going to be the adult in the room and make the tough decisions.
It's bad leadership.
Yeah, I mean, it's not punting the ball there does not tell me you don't trust your players. You know what I mean? Like, he almost says that where it's like, if I didn't go for it, it would mean I don't trust my players. No, how about you just made a better game management decision? It has nothing to do with trust of the players there. I know you trust your players. Go for it when you're on the other side of the field.
I trust my players to cover for a shitty call. That's basically how I took it. Right. I trust my players. They're going to, it didn't work. It's on me. Okay, well, Nick, they covered for you. And once again, they win in spite of you. Is that what he said? They win in spite of you, Nick. Congratulations. You confirm my takes about Nick Sirianni. His players covered for his incompetence. Congratulations. Jesus criminy, man. You don't really have to stand at a podium and tell people, hey, my shitty play calling, the players covered for me. Okay, congratulations. Hey, dude, please let's talk about the defense. Because I don't want to sit here and talk about an 8-2 football team the way I'm talking about it right now. Because the more you talk about the offense, the more I'm just going to go off the top rope on it because it's terrible. It's just a shitty offense, dude. You do not. It's like there's nothing redeemingly quality of it. There's no redeeming quality except turnover. There's no turnovers.
Well, the defense, I'll tell you what, they're fun, man. They're a great unit. They're good.
To the point, getting pressure now. Would this be a fair comment? I think you're starting to see a little bit of a combination between the 22 defense and the 24 defense.
That's fair.
Maybe you're not as good as 24, but you got a lot of 22 in you. You got a lot of 24 in you, and you look like you're kind of both of those teams. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you think we have the chance to be the best defense in football?
Yeah. Yeah.
By playoff time?
Too much on the resume. Yeah. The coordinator. I don't think you're really deep. Okay, so keep an eye on that.
No, you might. You kind of are.
You lose Phillips, you're done.
Well, if you lose the best player anywhere, it's tough. But if we lost,
he's got a history of being lost. That's why I brought it up. So again, and so does Dean. Two dudes that are linchpins in your defense right now have a history. You've got to go with that history sometimes too. So that's why I said, remember this, a year ago, what were you able to overcome? When Dean got hurt, you had Burks step in. I don't know if you're going to get the way. Hey, Campbell is a fine young ball player, but he's not what that kid brings to the defense. Dude, Dean has, under Vic Fangio, it's night and day, isn't it? Compared to Sean Desai, he's fucking night and day. That guy looked like to me that he didn't even belong he didn't belong in the league. Now this guy is a bullet out there. How about the way he's covering Gibbs down the sideline too?
Oh, man.
He was there was a point where he made 4 plays in a row.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive what this defense is doing, man. Vic Fangio, I put it out on X. He's the MVP of the Eagles, in my opinion.
Man, he's just absolutely killing it right now. There is no doubt about it. By the way, too, I'll say something else on the other side. We're starting to see more and more Jalen Hunt. Jalen Hunt is what I thought he would end up doing. Jalen Hunt is starting to play a little bit better than Nolan Smith right now, and you're seeing him more so. To me, it's Phillips and Jalen Hunt, and I think that Nolan Smith would be the guy who's playing himself out of a contract is Smith, and I think that you got Jalen Hunt. I feel pretty good with my edge rushers being Jalen Hunt and Phillips, and I saw BG a couple times around some piles too. I thought he made some. I saw him back behind the line of scrimmage. I thought he was good too. Jalen Hunt is benefiting from having Jalen Phillips out there on the field.
I love having BG out there, man. BG is awesome to have out there. So good stuff there on defense. We appreciate everybody for being here. We're going to get to John McMullen soon. Nick Sirianni is speaking. So once he's done, I assume we'll get John up right after that. I do appreciate everybody for being here. Hit that like button. I'll take a couple more super chats from the great people. Torty says, any chance the front office brings in a consultant to help the coaches on offense, or is Lurie just going to hope that Nick and Patullo become competent?
I said this, and I'm going to hold to it. Following November 29th in the Notre Dame game between Stanford and Notre Dame, that's when Frank Reich's interim head coaching job ends there. I don't know how long the transition is going to be. Maybe they're going to wait and see who becomes an Andrew Luck, who he names. But on this program, we had a guy by the name of Frank Reich say that a year ago, the Eagles offered him a position to join the football team. And I believe that he's going to be a consultant, and that would be a really incredible addition to Jalen Hurts if you can bring him. Remember what he did for Nick Foles by implementing those RPOs in there for Nick Foles. I could see him being added there as you guys get into the playoff months.
So get a load of this. Ready? Derek Gunn is reporting, or not reporting, but is saying that Jalen Hurts is refusing to follow the plays and the game plan, and it's causing major friction in the building. Jalen knows he won't be benched with his contracts, and players are mad when watching film that the plays are there and Jalen's not listening.
So does this go off the reporting of Diane Rossini saying that Jalen Hurts
potentially
is not a good leader in there, and that Jalen Hurts is going off script? And maybe that's, again, if D Gunn's reporting that. By the way, if D Gun,
Derek Gunn has connections in the organization. I don't give a shit what anybody says about it.
He got it from Big Dom. That's who he would get that from, is Big Dom. He's tight with him.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Also, isn't he best friends with Brandon Graham?
He's got a lot of connections. I'm not going to sit up here and speak about where he's getting it from. I'm just saying I do think it's an interesting conversation because we're looking at this offense.
Oh, I believe it.
Football, and everybody thinks it's all these other factors. I'm wondering what the organization thinks the problem is on offense, because I'm not of the belief that the organization is happy with the way the offense is playing just because they're winning games.
So Jalen Hurts is refusing to be coached?
I don't know. I didn't hear it, so I can't speak to exactly what he said, but that's what I'm hearing.
Wow. Okay. The drama never ends with your football team. You can't even enjoy a win like this.
Wouldn't it make some sense? This offense is
completely
bad, dude.
No, wait a minute. Let's do this. Is Jalen Hurts right?
Maybe. But the thing I don't like about it is if he's going against what they're trying to do. Because look, here's the problem. This team is very successful with the way they are right now. Why does anybody believe with a semi-competent offense we'd be worse? Like I don't buy that.
No way.
I mean, but it almost makes it feel like that's what people are saying. It's like, well, we're winning. It's like, all right, I never said I don't want to win. I just want a semi-competent offense.
No, if you had an average offense, you're winning games by 10, 15 points.
That's what I mean.
I mean, if you were just somewhat competent, okay? If you were just competent, you'd be killing teams. I mean, killing teams. I mean, right now you're not. Do you agree with me what I'm saying? Your offense is not competent right now. Do you agree?
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
Are you shocked with what you're hearing right now?
No, I'm not. I mean, the offense sucks, but the defense is amazing. I'm just trying to stick with what I'm happy about. I'm happy that the defense is amazing. I'm happy that they've suffocated now 2 NFC North teams that were supposed to be the class of the NFC this year and these great offenses. I mean, both these teams, look, we're all talking about we wish we had a better offense. Well, the great offenses in the league have showed up to Philly and turned into a fucking pumpkin. So, like, is it overrated to desire that? Potentially it is. It is.
Well, you do have to ask yourself, do you think you can win a Super Bowl with this style of football? I don't. Because this doesn't resemble what you did a year ago.
This is a championship defense.
Yeah, but this doesn't resemble what you did a year ago.
It resembles the past.
You had a championship run game. You have nothing championship on offense. Do you agree? You don't have championship play calling. You don't have championship production. You don't have championship anything. Your defense has championship pressure. They're stopping the run. Your linebackers are elite. You're deep at that position. I mean, Zander, everyone is looking a year ago. Well, what's the one common denominator? You had a back go for 2,700 yards last year, counting the playoffs. I mean, dude, every time you line up in a game, you're getting out totaled again in total yards, and you're barely winning football games because you get this. Do you not agree? Your offense is keeping teams in football games.
Yeah.
And get this. Your defense is keeping them in the win column.
But doesn't defense play a bigger role when you get to the Super Bowl?
Zander, you remember what Hugh Douglas said? Defense is a luxury in today's NFL.
I understand that, but that's
a luxury.
Remember that a lot of that is not all about football.
Again, you can yes, defense wins when you have some denominate. You don't have anything on offense that's good. A year ago, you were the best running attack in football. You're nowhere near that right now.
No,
I mean, Zander, if you were in the middle of the league running, you're kind of in the look. I don't know.
What is our running offense even ranked? We're not very good. It doesn't.
I think you're 19th right now. I think you're 19th in offense right now when it comes to rushing. Let me take a look. Well, this is heading into this, and this number will go up because you had 158. And entering this ball game, coming in, you were 21st in rushing. Year ago, you were second and almost were number 1 to the Ravens. I mean, dude, he had 2,700 yards rushing from scrimmage. I mean,
here's Big Mo says, I'm tired of this totally predictable offense, cannot run or pass, and is one of the most expensive in the league. Something needs to be done.
Listen,
well, now I'm wondering where the friction is. Because there's not anybody that pro teams don't just go into the locker room and say, okay, we won. Woo, yeah, who cares about the offense that sucks? That's not what they say. They're looking at the offense every day.
Listen, this is more than 8-2 now. This is about you're talking. Is this good enough to win a Super Bowl? You're not. Are you really in the conversation about talking about? Is this good enough to win the NFC East? No. Is this good enough to win a home field advantage? Is this good enough to do some things in the postseason? Or are you going to go into games with no margin of error and think you're going to survive that? Hey, Zander, you might. You might, depending on the matchups, you might. I think you're going to run into Detroit again in the divisional round, and I think you're going to run into the Rams again in the NFC Championship. Okay, and guess what? You may do it. I don't know, with that shitty offense.
Yeah, this report's interesting. It reminds me of the aloof comment that John McMullen made earlier in the season about Jalen Hurts. No, remember, a lot of people hate that.
What Britton Covey said.
A lot of people don't like that. I mean, you're talking about people, Philly fans give people death threats if they say shit that they don't like about their favorite football team, which is just ridiculous. But it does remind me of that thing that John talked about. It
also reminds me of when Britton Covey said that the guy was also a guy that, was not very approachable in the locker room. And he had to walk that back. The whole thing with Brandon Graham a year ago, remember when the owner had to come in and shut down an interview that was going on a remote when he was working at WIP in a remote? The whole thing goes back to, again, and now I'm starting to understand. Remember what I kept saying to you, Zander? I mean, how come the quarterback doesn't have a voice? How come it's always AJ with the voice? Well, now we're starting to maybe understand that, right? Maybe Jalen Hurts is a little bit more standoffish than everybody thinks.
Somebody tagged me in this, and I'm take it with a grain of salt, but Derek Gunn postgame is saying Jalen Hurts is refusing to follow the plays in the game plan, and it's causing friction in the building. Jalen knows he won't be benched with his contract, says players are mad when watching film that plays are there, and Jalen is not listening.
What a massive indictment. For a guy that's got
somebody's gonna have to cross-check that. I don't know how verifiable.
Hey, by the way, for somebody that's got access to the building like that, for him to say that is quite an indictment on the quarterback. That is the strongest indictment on Jalen Hurts since he's been a quarterback in Philadelphia, that he's uncoachable. I mean, bro, he's uncoachable. That's what that means. That's
brutal, man. Brutal. They just asked Jalen about the defensive performance. He called it one of the best defensive performances he's ever seen.
Great. I'd like to have somebody ask him about that report and have somebody ask him and go.
Philly media, you know how that's going. They're not. Nobody's asking them that. They can't get their press credentials revoked. Sills, they're gonna lose their jobs. These guys have jobs. That's how they feed their family. Nobody's doing that. Unfortunately, I'm with you, but nobody's doing that.
Yeah. By the way, Sills is just ridiculous. That's not my fucking report, guy. That's not my report.
Ridiculous? I don't understand that. Why is Sills ridiculous? Because he says the offense blows. The offense does blow. It stinks.
I mean, yeah.
Look, stirring up controversy for clicks. Replies: the offense good or is the offense not good?
Wait a minute. I'm
more happy this week than I was last week. All right. Here's John. We're going to get to John and see what John has to say about this. But it is what it is. I mean,
and I would imagine that John McMullen respects Derek Gunn.
Oh, I know that. I mean, Derek Gunn's a very plugged-in guy. So let's see. Let's bring up John. We'll get John McMullen. I don't know if J-Mac's ready for us. But J-Mac, you ready for us? Yeah, he's ready for us. Let me get him up here. I'll bring him in here. John, we got you, brother?
Yeah, you got me?
I got you, man. I got your audio. You want me to put the video up too?
Well, I'm not, I don't have the video. Yeah.
You got it on your phone, man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, there you are. Johnny Mack joins us now here on the postgame show. John, Eagles get the win tonight in a game. I don't think we expected this game to unfold this way. 16-9, they get the win. They moved to 8-2 on the year, my friend. Just your first takeaway from the Eagles win tonight before we get into some of the specifics.
Well, defense. That was one of the most impressive defensive performance I've seen in a really long time. I thought Detroit would struggle a little bit compared to what they usually do without Sam Laporta. But, I mean, Jared Goff was under siege. He was in hell in Lincoln Financial Field. I think he was 2 of his last 18, something like that. Crazy. I mean, the pressure on him with 4-man rushes most of the time, unbelievable. I mean, Jordan Davis with the bat downs, Jalen Carter, Moro Ajomo, and Jalen Phillips, just like, I've talked about that on the edge. It's like I've made the baseball comparison. He's like the starting pitcher, the ace, and everybody falls into place. Like Nolan Smith isn't an ace, and he's still not. He's still on the pitch count, but when he's up to 100%, he's going to be a good number two in the rotation. Jalen Hunt's going to be a good number three. Everybody falls into place because Jalen Phillips was here, and the rest of the NFL is in trouble if that pass rush performs halfway of what it did today. Today was outrageous. Halfway would be good. It was unbelievable to watch.
John, I mean, there's no question that the additions of Nakobe Dean and Jalen Phillips have just been like a lightning bolt to that football team. I mean, they're playing with speed. They're setting the edges. Every single thing on that side of the football was absolutely insane. And like you said, that's championship defense. When you go on the other side of the football, that's as bad a football offensive performance for 2 nights of eight quarters of football, John, for a contending football team I've ever seen. I mean, that thing just can't get out of its way. They're not on the same page. Now there's all kinds of reports about Jalen Hurts not liking the game plan, according to D. Gunn. Zander will give you a little bit about what he said and saying that what the word is in the building right now. But, John, I mean, that offense is as bad. It's gotten worse. The passing game is terrible. And that defense, like you said, they're winning football games because that team keeps them in football games. They're winning in spite of that offense right now.
Yeah, I agree, and you can throw the running game in there as well. I think, one of the things I mentioned we have to start talking about 482 touches again, and I think the realization is it took a lot out of Saquon Barkley, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. The passing game, look, it's been this way for a while. It was this way last year. It's up, it's down. It's usually down. Today you had a bunch of drops on top of it. So, Dallas Goedert had a couple drops. DeVonta Smith had a couple drops, at least from passes he'd normally catch. AJ got his targets, so he can't complain about that this week, but they weren't meaningful targets. I think he had 7 catches for 48 yards or something like that with 11 targets. They're never going to be a high-volume passing team. I did see the craziest stat of all. I forget the exact number, but Jalen Hurts is at 580-something passes with 2 interceptions. The first quarterback in NFL history to have 500 or more passes with only 2 interceptions ever. It's never happened before that span. So they've laid their lot on this philosophy, and offensive people aren't going to like it. That's the bottom line. And everybody who's an offensive player at some point isn't going to like it because it's boring, it's ugly, it's conservative, it's risk averse. And for this particular team, it's winning football.
John, are you moving? Where are you opinion-wise, John, on whether this team can continue to play this way and accomplish the goals that they have?
Well, I think their goals that they have, right now, they're the clear favorite in the NFC. You can make an argument, I guess, for the Rams, but the Rams played the Seahawks today. Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, and they won by, 2 points?
Yeah, and lost on the field goal. There was a field goal that they missed to end the game.
Yeah, so I think clearly they're the best team in the NFC. I think clearly the NFC is better than the AFC. So why not?
John, the Broncos have beaten both participants in the Super Bowl this year too. So, I mean, you could say whatever, or people could say whatever they want about the Broncos, but right now they beat both the Eagles and the Chiefs this year so far too. So I'd put them in a conversation too. They're 9-2 sitting on the season, and there's no way they may have knocked Kansas City's chances of making the playoffs out, sitting at 5-5 right now. And I would say the Rams are playing some pretty good football, but I'll make this point to you, John. A year ago, you had You had an iconic running attack. You're not doing anything well on offense. I mean, there's nothing you're doing well on offense right now. So the margins are slim. So when you get into the playoffs, like you said, John, do I think that they're one of the teams in the NFC that can win the Super Bowl? Obviously, but you've got overachieving and just spectacular defense. It was amazing to watch that performance. You watch the offense putter around like that. I mean, I think you just keep everybody that you play, no matter if it's the New York Giants or whether it's the Green Bay Packers or Detroit. I think you keep everybody in the game because of the way that offense is playing.
Well, I agree, but I had that take last year. I mean, yeah, it decreases the margin of error. Xander can tell you that. I've been talking about that forever. And they could have lost the game against the Rams in the playoffs if, somebody could block Jalen Carter on the last play, second to last play. Tyler Higbee, the defender, slipped. He was walking in for a touchdown, and the Eagles' season would have been over. That's how small that margin of error was. So it's been that small. It continues to be that small. But to your point about, you got to look at it both ways. The Rams outplayed the Eagles this year, but the Eagles won the game because of a blocked field goal. The Eagles outplayed the Broncos, but the Broncos won the game because Bo Nix threw a couple back shoulders to Cortland Sutton. When you're talking about small margin of error, yeah, on any given Sunday that could happen, and it's one and done. It's the NCAA tournament, so by no means am I saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but right now, today, as we speak in Week 11, I think they got a better chance than anybody else from a percentage standpoint.
I'm with you. John, talk to me about A.J. Brown, man. Obviously, all the, the week that preceded the game, you had a lot of the drama, the meeting with the owner, the janky Rondo stream, all sorts of different things. And then you get 11 targets, you get 7 catches, 49 yards, I think it was, with a long.
By the way, was that pass interference at the end of the game?
Oh, my gosh.
No way.
That was
yeah.
John, I know you're not an official.
We got a pool report who said he grabbed the arm. I did not see interference.
I didn't either.
You see quick. You know.
Oh my God,
it's tough to see at the game. But yeah, I thought in the moment, that was a pretty egregious call, especially the moment.
Right.
And
let them play, John. John, let them
exactly.
play.
Let the players decide the game.
Yeah.
And as I just said, Jared Goff was to it. They probably weren't going to win the game, but at least give them the opportunity if they earned it. And they should have had the opportunity.
What'd you make of his game tonight, John? A lot of people on him, about the, I guess down the field, the one target downfield. It looked like he gave up on the route a little bit. So people are on him. They think maybe we forced the ball to him too much. Just what you make of his game and how much you think maybe they kind of manufactured some of those touches for A.J. Brown to maybe appease him as opposed to trying to do what's best for the team.
Yeah, they probably gave him a few targets, especially early, to appease him. They've done that in the past. I mean, famously, last time week 1 in Detroit, DeVonta Smith didn't get any targets. And then the next week, they gave him 2 straight targets to start the game. This is not new for the Eagles. They typically do this. So, yeah, I would agree part of it was that. Giving up on a football that, I went through this with Randy Moss. People lose their minds. I mean, receivers are receivers. If they can't get the ball, they're not going to, I don't know what people expect. They know if they can get the ball, and if they don't, they're going to tamper it down. I mean,
they're going to chirp.
On the field.
Yeah.
Off the field. You've seen it the past couple of weeks with Jefferson, who's playing with an abominable quarterback, and he's losing his mind. Yeah. I mean, it's not rare. It happens all the time in this league. Whatever at this point. I mean, I'm personally sick of the AJ stuff. I think the Eagles are sick of the AJ stuff. I think this is how they're going to play. Now, to me, the more interesting question is the offseason and what happens in the offseason. because if you're going to play this way, there's no reason you have to play 2 wide receivers what they pay these 2 wide receivers. So go about it a different way, and they're going to have to start paying this defense, which is, again, for the second consecutive year, we talk about all the time the highest paid offense. The defense outplays the offense for the second consecutive year. And Dan Campbell called Vic Fangio a legend leading up to this game. He freaking undersold it.
Well, except for that final call at the game there at 4th down. I mean, kick the ball, John. What are you thinking about?
No. He's talking about Vic, John.
Oh, I'm Vic. Vic.
Yeah.
No. Hey, John. No. Vic is special, and you're right about him.
Yeah, he's crazy, man.
He's special. I want to ask you about Sirianni's call there on 4th down.
Oh, that's brutal. That is a brutal decision.
Why make that decision, John?
Well, he thought he was going to get it, and the game's over. They have this hubris about the tush push, but I think you've seen, and especially tonight. And remember, Cam Jurgens is out of the game by that point. Lane Johnson is out of the game by that point, so you have to factor that into it as well. They hadn't had success with the tush push. They had a couple false starts. They got stopped on the play before, and they got stopped on that play. But to me, the egregious part of it is you're up by 2 scores, and this defense is playing lights out, and you only have 3 minutes left. If you punt the football, even if they go down in a drive, unless you give up, a score in a minute, which you're not going to do, because even if you want to look at the one drive the Lions had, which was basically 2 plays, so you say they can score quickly. But remember, you're going to play cover 2 shell. You're not going to allow those plays to happen in that type of situation unless you make abominable decisions on defense. And the defense is playing so good, I got to put my eggs in that basket. Now, ultimately, it didn't matter. They won the game. But yeah, that's a decision you shouldn't make in that type of situation.
John, another win for this Eagles team, man. They just keep figuring out ways to win. Tell an Eagles fan that's watching this show how to feel right now, John. Should they be concerned though about
those people how to feel?
I just think there's this feeling of like we keep winning, but man, how do I deny what I'm seeing with my eyes? This offense is awful. Should it just be like enjoy the wins? You're in an era of the Eagles that they've never had before, and that's what matters a lot more than the offense? Or is it more you guys are going to get burned if you don't get this offense better? Like, where are you on that?
Well, just like I said, but I think the same ability to get burned was there last year, but since they won, nobody goes back to it and realizes it. Like, I don't think much has changed. And I don't think the passing offense, to be blunt, has changed at all. I think the rushing offense has changed, and it's gone, obviously, in a downward trajectory. Again, people talked about that Green Bay game. Xander. I went and looked. They had 7 worse passing performances last year than the passing performance they had in Green Bay. So to say that was new or that was outrageously ugly, no. They played 21 games last year. That means 33% of the time they were worse than they were in Green Bay.
Hey, John, that's terrible. Hey, Zander, I want you to tell John what's being floated around, and this kind of goes in the heels of Diane Rossini on what she said too. And I want to hear John's takes on this here.
I've already said that.
So D-Gun reported basically that Jalen Hurts, is causing a lot of friction inside the building. Knows he won't be benched with his contract, kind of not playing to the game plan. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to speak for Derek Gunn, but apparently that's what he was saying on the show. So, Any thought on that, or maybe if Jalen Hurts is under more of a microscope in this organization than we think at this point?
I think there's a lot of people, which I've already kind of mentioned, that think he's aloof and think he's very, not inclusive.
Huh.
A lot of the old Carson stuff in a different style.
Okay.
So about the kind of stuff like he's not going to get benched. He's a starting quarterback that makes $50 million. He's not going to get benched.
That's kind of what Derek Ohm was saying. He knows that, so he doesn't really
Of course
care.
he knows that, but what I'm trying to say is every quarterback knows that who makes $50 million. Right. They're not getting benched.
They're not.
That's not – no, I love Egon, but that's not news. I mean, there are no $50 million quarterbacks getting benched. And by the way, I mean, he's not getting benched because they don't lose games.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks that lose games get benched.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff, Yeah, I mean, you've heard the rumors that, and a lot of it involves his agency pushing him to be the face of the franchise, but that's their job and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes people get jealous and all that kind of stuff, but yada, yada.
How about this too, John? Is Father Time starting to catch up with Lane Johnson?
Well, he's hurt again, and he didn't come back in this game.
And it's been in and out of the lineup, would you not say, the last month?
Yeah, he missed most of last week. He was able to come back for the final drive. He left early again this week, wasn't able to come back. Last week it was an ankle. Now, if you go back a couple years when he had to have reconstructive ankle surgery, that was really, he was thinking about retiring at that point. I think he's already thinking about retiring. I think the shit show that the gossip, I think that contributes to it as well. So, yeah, a little bit worried about Lane Johnson. First of all, you got to see if he's healthy and is able to play, because this is a foot injury. And anytime I hear foot injury,
for big dudes like that, John, yes.
The worst case scenario is Liz Frank, and if it's Liz Frank, then he's done for the season. So you got to see what's going on. Number one, and then, but yeah, he's already mentioned retirement a couple times this year. And certainly, if they win again, I would be surprised he comes back. If he comes back.
We'll see. Johnny Mac, great performance tonight for the Eagles defense. My list of negatives, John, is all offense, and my list of positives is all defense. I mean, that's the nature of this team.
Wait a minute. Now. What's new, Zander?
Yeah, I know. That is what it is. What it is. John, one other player I wanted to talk to you about. Maybe we mentioned him. Adoree Jackson. I think he deserves some credit tonight, John, for the way he's hanging in there. I know he got beat on that one play, but shit, I thought he was great tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to complain about anything defensively. A couple Gibbs is phenomenal, by the way.
Holy crap, John! That dude's amazing.
You get that guy in space, it's frightening. But other than Gibbs, and they did a good job in the running game, they struggled with him in the passing game. That 3rd and 4th and 1 was amazing. They stoned him on 3rd and 1. They stoned him on 4th and 1. They were 0 for 5, Detroit. When Dan Campbell had 5 something left, and it was 4th and 10, but he was down 2 scores and he punted the football. This defense broke Dan Campbell. It broke him.
And they went for it the entire night. I'm sitting there going, why now? Why now? You needed points.
Because they broke him.
Man, I mean.
Well, to be fair, just to play devil's advocate.
He should have.
I don't think Dan thought the offense was ever going to do a damn thing for the Eagles.
When you're on the road and when weather's like that, and you know that points are going to be a premium, and it wasn't going to be a shootout. Dude, you pick all 4 of those field goals, you win the ball game tonight.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. All right, Johnny Mac, your final thoughts on this game, brother. We'll talk to you about it more extensively in the morning, but they win again. The offense stinks again, and the defense is getting better and better, Johnny Mac.
Hey, man,
final thought here.
this was the Super Bowl in November at Lincoln Financial Field. The defensive front won this game. Won this game. From moment one, basically whatever the interception was on the third, fourth play, whatever it was, they dominated this game. Dominated. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Jalen Phillips, Moro Ojomo, dominated this football game.
No doubt. Johnny Mac, one guy I wanted to mention, to you. Jake Elliott deserves some credit tonight, too. A couple big kicks, man, in that win, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Jake's always great, so I expect that from Jake Elliott. Certainly was better than Bates, who missed extra point. Now, Williams gave him 15 yards back because of that stupid celebration, but you saw the difference between a dome kicker and an outdoor kicker, I think, tonight.
How about this, John? With all them Temu signings, the one thing you could say now is how he made up for it with Jalen Phillips, dude.
Yeah, well,
I mean, right?
When you shop at Nordstrom, you get some good stuff.
Yeah. John, thank you, brother. We'll catch you in the morning, my man.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks, John.
Hey, man, there's Johnny Mac, John McMullen joining us right here. Still a couple minutes left here on the post-game show. Appreciate everybody for being here. Hit that like button. Big Sills, your final thoughts here on the Eagles win. They do it again, man. They do it again.
Yep, and add to the resume. And that defense continues to add to its resume. And Vic Fangio continues to add to his Philadelphia legacy. You've had some really great defensive-minded coaches, Jim Schwartz, Buddy Ryan, Jim Johnson. You've had some greats like Bud Carson. And there is no doubt that you go down in history as one of the truly great coaches in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. On the other hand, this will go down as one of the most overrated offenses in pro football history with the amount of money you spend and with the amount of talent you have on offense. It's one of the most putrid offenses in all of pro football. You can't get out of your own way right now offensively. But again,
it might not matter, though.
No, okay, you're right. It might not. You know what I'm going to start calling the Eagles? They're Heckle and Hyde. That's who they are. Jekyll. That's who they are. They're Heckle and Hyde right now, right?
Jekyll and Hyde. So
Jekyll and Hyde. They're Jekyll and Hyde, right?
Yeah. A lot of sports talk for you this week.
How about this? Look, Jekyll and Hyde, 1 minute they're here, 1 minute they're here.
Yeah.
I could just promise you this, bro. That's the worst offensive football team in the league for any contending football team. And I thought Bo Nix was bad. Bo Nix makes Jalen Hurts. I mean, he looks like John Elway the way he plays football. I mean, dude, Bo Nix is John Elway.
Dude, I know our offense sucks, but don't leave me with comparing Bo Nix to John Elway.
Why? They're 9-2. And they beat you. I mean, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I mean, right?
Both flicks.
Both flick it, right?
All right, Sills. Good show.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. And now I know that you have a disgruntled quarterback in the building. He hates his coach. He hates his offensive coordinator. He doesn't want to listen. Holy cow. You got a diva quarterback now. I'll see you Monday, dude. 2-6 on the National Football
It is
Show.
Monday, man. It's Monday morning. Or not where you are. It's Monday where I am already. All right, my friend. I will see you later on today.
You got it, brother. Have a good one. I'll see you guys this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Later, Big Sills. There he is, the legendary Big Sills. We had John McMullen on. Great stuff. Appreciate everybody doing it. I got plenty of super chats we'll read tonight. We'll see what everybody thinks of the game tonight. I mean, I know you get the win. I tried to, not be as negative. A lot of people were mad at me last week, so maybe I went soft this week. But you got to butter some of these people up who can't handle, some honest opinions after a game. Our offense blows. They really do. Let me go and read some super chats from the great people of JAKIB Nation. Keep evolving. How about this take? If the Eagles' offense is shitty, isn't Detroit's offense even shittier? 16 points is more than 9. Well, that's fair, but the Eagles don't have to play the Eagles' defense, We don't have to play the Eagles' defense, so it's a little different, but I hear you. Rifmano, Adoree Jackson is no longer butt cheeks. I thought he had a great game. Gina said 31 points. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. We didn't have 31 points tonight, that's for sure. Hangry Dog says, Rams are the best team. We beat the Rams the last 3 times. We beat them the next time, and Sirianni will be 4-0 against McVay. Don't predict the future. Gina says, 2,000 Rams, 333 totals, points. Eagles, 253 right now. Defense wins. Fair enough, Gina. I agree with you on that. Junior says, the new statement is the Eagles win in spite of a shitty offense. We might just win another Super Bowl with a bottom 5 offense. Junior, would that be crazy or what? Young Swoosh. What's up, Swoosh? We need to have an uncomfortable conversation about Barkley. He's obviously better, but Tank Bigsby run style is far more effective right now. Downhill, baby. I'm with you a little bit on that. I don't know. Look, though. Tank's in a reserve role. I mean, you can't just sit here and say if Tank gets 25 carries a game, it's going to translate. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say that. Here's E-Train. What can we no, my bad, I missed one of Young Swoosh's. Young Swoosh says, you could reasonably say that Tanner and Bigsby starting right now would make this offense at least average. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not wonder. I'll say that. It's hard to not wonder what the offense would look like if there was a little bit of a different philosophy or different mentality back there, E-Train says, what can we expect when we finally change our approach on O halfway through the year? It's going to look wonky. Amateur hour on O, world class on D. Amateur hour is putting it, might be being generous. Gabe says, if our offense sucks, what is the Lions offense? Oof. Well, they're playing the Eagles defense. The Eagles offense doesn't have to play the defense. Pay the internet bill, Sills. I don't think that was the problem. Gabe says, can we talk about how Q locked down one of the best wide receivers in the league? I tried telling everybody I thought he was a little overrated this week, but everybody got mad at me. He's a great receiver for that team. If you knock Jared Goff off his game and he doesn't have perfect timing, he's not a receiver that can take over a game, in my opinion. That's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Great player. Not saying he's not a great player, but I don't think St. Brown showed up for this game. He's a top 3 cornerback in this league. Well, Q didn't really stick on him that as much as you're insinuating, but that's fine. E-Train says, Jalen is out of rhythm because the offense is out of rhythm. This is a poorly coached and schemed offense. No flow all season. Yeah, you were right. Theo, what's up, Theo? Limited QB equals limited play calling. That's becoming more evident. Almighty Lambo. BG had some good pressures, and Q had his best coverage game of the season. First half, he was in no-throw zone. I agree. Permafrost says, Jalen is the black Trent Dilfer. Prove me wrong. That's pretty funny. Christopher Michael says, this coaches and quarterback are trash. Thank God for Vic. I agree. Thank God for Vic. I'm not going to go that far on the quarterback or the offense, but Abe says, Sills, you tripping. Fred played all game against Hutchinson. Who the fuck does Cowgirls have similar to him or the other guy, Muhammad Ali? Joking. Abe, good one. Good win, Eagles. Let's effing go, Cowboys. Alvino, fuck the Cowboys. Daniel says, continuously trashing the offense is the bulk of your analysis. If the defense is great and we win, how can the analysis be all? It's not. Daniel, what the fuck are you complaining about, dude? Abe says, how about that wide 9 formation, Sills? Well done, Abe. Mikey says, we desperately need RPO back in our scheme. No team takes our offense seriously without the threat of Jalen running. I agree. Boy, I'm yawning early tonight, guys. I normally go till 3 o'clock. I might have to cut some of the post-game show out of here. You guys are going to have to bring some better takes or I'm cutting you off at the knees. Keith says, I knew once they made Nick's pet the OC, the offense is going to be dog shit. Keith, the offense was dog shit last year outside of the running game. Matt says, penalties nuked some plays. Wide receivers dropped a lot of early balls. Deep balls, wind or no touch. But Nakobe Dean, 4.7, 4.40, looking like 4.3 out there. Matt, Nakobe Dean's a fucking beast, dude. Nakobe Dean is a beast. All right? I'm paying him. That's what I'm doing. Aiden says, are we Trent Dilfer Ravens? I don't want to go that far yet. Starting to feel like it, though. Anthony says, Sills, do you think Andy Reid would have just stopped developing Jalen? No, he wouldn't have. I don't like Jalen's Andy's style, but Paul says, Hurts will run more as the season goes on, and that will open things up. P.S. Dean was the heart of that Dog's D. The NFL is slowing down for him. Paul, great take. NFL is totally slowing down for Dean. He sees that thing, man. He sees everything. Mob Deep Fan Hawk says, yes, our D is good, but we've been getting lucky with opposing teams' offensive injuries like Lions, O-line, and Packers skill positions. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's a bullshit take. It's the NFL, dude. You play who's in front of you. Nobody gets excuses. Danito says, is this defense enough to win a Super Bowl? Yeah, I think so. Because if they're going to mitigate every offense, I mean, think about it. You just played the best offense. You turned them into a fucking pumpkin. And the offense was able to be shitty and still win. So if you can do it to that team, why can't you do it to anybody? You know? That's my whole thing right now. Is like, if you're able to mitigate these offenses and turn them into pumpkins, you know, you don't need the offense to be good. If there was ever a game you would need the offense to be good, it'd be the Lions. We didn't even need the Lions to be good we didn't even need the offense to be good for the Lions. You know? So, I don't know. Could you get got? Sure, but you can always get got. Yo, did somebody feed me some yawn juice or something? I got to yawn every 6 seconds right now. Clary Boy says, time to be honest. Hurts makes us think we need a new OC every year. It's just Hurts. Only can run RPO, and it's not in the playbook. Clary Boy, I kind of agree. I don't think it's all in Kevin Patullo. Dennis says, am I the only one that thinks the wind in this game destroyed the Lions and the Eagles' offenses? I mean, to some extent, but it wasn't that bad, dude. It wasn't like a fucking tornado out there. Q-Ball says, Hurts didn't have a great game by any stretch. The scheming is awful. Coaching is awful. And the players are playing awful. They need to come to Jesus Convo. Q, I'm with you. I'm with Q-Ball. It's everybody. Nobody gets a get out of jail card. All right? Nobody gets a get out of jail card here. Morty. Holy mackerel, Morty. All right? Holy shit. I'm not wrong. The offense sucked last year, JC. You can believe whatever you want to believe. The offense blew. We had a quarterback throw for 2,900 yards in the season. I mean, come on, dude. Fucking delusion. What delusion are you in? Freddie says, too many penalties tonight. Yeah, it's bad. Corporate Pump says, how far can this LGBTQ Hurts community carry this for? Pumper, you're going to get me in trouble up here, man. Holy shit, Pumper's hilarious. I don't care what you guys think of Pumper's takes. He's the funniest guy in this chat. None of you are half as funny as Brian Pumper is. All these certified eaters be slurping his sausage the long way. All right, Pump, come on, man. You're making me read some Diddy shit now. Tortyville, I saw that one already. Corporate Pump, who would have thunk it? I'm confusion. Man, Brian Pumper knows what he's talking about. This is way too easy. NG says he never trusted KP. That shocks you? I don't think KP trusts him either, dude. Trey says D-Gun got me worried. Jalen is Carson 2.0. Could be. Pumper says Hurts pulling Jordan tactics with no Jordan skills. This is what we call the Jalen Hurts tax. His ego. We not allow this team to succeed. Hurts tax, SMH. Speaking of Jordan, I picked up a pair of, I didn't know this, but the Chicago Lows are releasing them Saturday. I won the draw on that bitch. All right. Let me show you. Look. Got him, baby. Got him. The Chicago Lows. I saw they were I got the notification and I'm like, ooh, that's a pair of Jordans I want. I like the one Lows. Corporate Pump says Jalen Hurts needs to read the room and take a hike. Tanner been that dude and he ready to pull the rug from number one. Tanner Delphia is rising. It might be. Trent says Lions defense is ranked higher than the Eagles. So what does that say about the Lions? Oh, why do people keep saying that? You guys think that's all of you think that's a good take? That's not a good take. What does that say about the Lions defense? The Eagles don't play the Eagles defense. It says fucking nothing about the Eagles offense. The offense is shit. And the Lions defense got turned to a pumpkin versus the Eagles defense. It says a lot about the Eagles defense. Doesn't say shit about the Lions defense. And also, Trent, I don't give a fuck about the Lions offense. Dumb comment. We've had like 4 of them tonight. Well, if the Eagles, if the Lions could have moved the ball in the Eagles, what does that say about their offense? It says that the Eagles defense is great. The Lions sample size is overwhelmingly that they're a great offense. McKee season hats are skyrocketing. JAKIB might have to start releasing them and putting Brian Pumper on the side. Like put it like a side at B Pumper. That'd be pretty funny. Pump, you want to split the profits? Pump, you want to split the profits? Fans are mad at us already. I don't give a shit. Jair says, if it's not Hurts, then why does this offense make every coordinator look like they don't know what they're doing? Good question. Pumper says, RPOs don't work. That's why we don't run it. The MFer runs like he's 380 pounds. Imagine a foot race between Embiid and Hurts. Slow-ass motherfuckers. Come on, Hurts isn't that slow. He does do things in slow motion. JD3 says, I'm not letting this offense kill my mood for the defense. Vic Fangio deserves a statue. Jalen might stink, but we have 2 Jalens on D that are elite. That's true. That's true. That's true. All right. That is freaking true, my friends. All right. So, yeah, Jason, you were wearing it when I picked you up. Here's Jarhead. Zay, if we made it to the Super Bowl and faced either the Patriots or the Bills, you think our D could win it? Yes, I do. I don't fear anybody in the NFL right now. That's the thing I'm most happy about. Like, I don't think anybody in the NFL is that good, man. All right. Jason been rocking that Hurts season hat. Jair, I thought I got it. Jair, I got it. I just read it. What are you talking about? Did I miss a different one? I got it, Jair. If it's not Hurts, then why does this offense make every coordinator look like they don't know what they're doing? I got it. I got you. All right, I got you. Look, a lot of people think it's Hurts. All right? A lot of people think it's Hurts. Here's Pumper. Hurts looks like he's operating underwater. How can we be a competent offense when he's drowning in his own ego? Dimebag says, Z, I'm not even Catholic, but I'd give up weed for Lent if we can get one regular season game with Tanner at the helm with a full week to prepare. Oh, that's funny. Dimebag is willing to change his religion for a little bit in order to see Tanner McKee. Holy shit. Pumper, email me. We might have to get these McKee hats season up. I got Dimebag. This guy's name is Dimebag, and he's willing to give up weed to see Tanner McKee. That means he'd be willing to buy a Tanner McKee hat. Incoming all the people who can't take a joke and are going to be so mad at me. Like, oh my God, you talked about Tanner McKee on the postgame show. Well, tell your favorite quarterback to play fucking better then. I wouldn't have to talk about Tanner McKee if he could play better. He missed so many throws tonight, it wasn't even funny. He missed so many throws tonight, it wasn't even funny. All right? He missed so many throws. Island, you'd be surprised how many hate comments I get, dude. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. People talk to me like I'm Mark Holmes sometimes. Tanner Time, sponsored by JAKIB. McKee, Twiz has the McKee season hat on there. Twizzler. See, Twiz, I value your take because, Twiz, you always bring a logical take where you know Jalen has limitations, but you also know we're winning. And you normally provide a pretty good middle ground of, where we are. Are you about ready to go to it's Tanner McKee season? Oh, people always say this. I'm hammered or stoned. I'm neither of the above. I haven't had a sip of alcohol in 3 years. I don't drink. And I'm certainly not stoned right now. I think I might just be a little tired. It's 1:40 in the morning. Rizzle says it's Hurts season. All right, Rizzle. Pumper says Tanner Delphia. Steven says, Z, do you really feel that we beat the Rams the way both teams are playing? Feeling is no, but I mean, if we can turn the Lions offense to a pumpkin, don't you think we could turn the Rams offense to a pumpkin? Probably not. Matthew Stafford's fucking better than Jared Goff. It's not even close. Matthew Stafford's way better than Jared Goff. And even Stafford last year in the playoffs when we had that number 1 overall defense was slicing and dicing. He had like 300 yards in that game, 330. Yeah, probably not, Steven. I mean, you're asking me my feeling. Feelings don't mean shit to me. Feelings are some of the most overrated thing in the world. If you're a dude, if you're a woman, that's fine. Believe me, I got plenty of women in my life. I know how much feelings matter to them and emotions. If you're a dude and you operate off feelings, you're gonna have a crash and burn. All right. That pressure will wreck any QB in the league. Kakoa, I know. I feel you. Here's Big Mike. The funniest thing is the Eagles organization don't give a rat's ass when anyone thinks about anything. Oh, and the Birds are still winning. Big Mike, I think you're a little wrong about that, my friend. Big Mike, I think you're a little off base there, dude. I don't think that's true at all. This Eagle organization totally cares about the narrative. Trust me. Trust me, Big Mike. I have enough information and enough experience and enough circumstances that have occurred for you to take my word on it, Mike. I'm not going to beg you to, but I'm telling you right now, that ain't true. The Eagles organization doesn't give a rat. I'm telling you right now that it's not true. You don't have to believe me. I'm Reyes. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster, being 8-2 in first. Reyes, you're right. Does feel good. All right. Senor says, I really do think someone from the offense is going. Oh, 100%. Look, and then you'll have Ishan. McKee talk is diabolical. Ishan, if you think the owner's happy with this offense, dude, paying what they're paying, come on, brother. I hear you. I get it. We're winning, but D. Reddick says, y'all cool just getting by. D. Reddick, in my own life, absolutely not. But I got so many buttercups I've learned on this channel. I got to temper it. You can't strive for greatness on this channel anymore. We used to be a proper channel. We used to be a proper company. We used to be a proper sports commentary outlet. Now we just got all these people who just want to hear Glaze all the time. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. Start the preparations on the float, Morty. That float, I don't think it's happening, brother. Reyes is laughing. Glazed donuts, HKP, it's all they like. All right, let's do this post-game show. I want like 4 of you max. I don't want to hear from all you idiots tonight. A lot of people are getting the axe tonight. I'm tired. I got shit to do. I got like 35, 45 minutes of work to do when I get off here. All right. Who do we lose to, Z? Island, it's a fair question by you. It's a fair question. Nobody want to hear it. Molly, go fucking cry to someone else, dude. If you think we're negative all the time, then you don't listen. You don't listen. You don't listen if you think that's true. Is Underdog in here? I'll get Underdog. I love Underdog. Colin, thanks for the super chat, brother. What defense has Tanner played that makes you think he could do better? And what's going to happen when he plays and turns into a pumpkin? Was Jalen limited in the Super Bowl? I mean, I'm not up here calling for Tanner fucking McKee. Take it up with Brian Pumper, Colin. We haven't seen shit from Tanner McKee. The idea is that he's a different style of quarterback, and he can throw the ball because he doesn't run. He doesn't rely on his athletic prowess and his athletic ability. He relies on his smarts to beat teams and defenses. That's what he does. Jalen doesn't do that. Two different styles. That's what people are wondering. Let's go to Joe Whipp, joining me right now here in the post-game show. Joe, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm tired, Zander. How you doing?
I'm doing great, my man. What do you think? We win again.
Okay. I have never been more pissed off after a win in my life.
Why is that?
Well, if Nick Sirianni ever sees this, you're a fucking moron.
He is so stupid.
Okay, this is not last year. He's playing these games like he has last year's offensive line. You can't do that. This offensive line is toast. They need to retool the entire offensive line in the offseason. Okay? They're just Dickerson, the center, and
who's the weak link?
I think the weak link has been the center and Dickerson. And now I'm concerned about Lane Johnson. I hope he doesn't have a Les Frank fracture or something.
I know. I heard John say that, and I'm like, fuck.
So, that would be, but that being said, the offense, I don't know I don't care who you put in there. If the offense is going to run those patterns over and over and over and over again, the Lions are sitting on everything.
Well, John says those patterns are because of the quarterback.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Hurts. I said this last week after on the post-game show. Looks like he has no zip on the ball. He's not following through. He's off his back foot. He's throwing softballs, flutter balls out there, and he's not accurate. Even that play with
Saquon
had a touchdown pass to Saquon.
Yes.
He threw it out of bounds.
That was a terrible throw.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
How about the PI call that bailed us out at the end of the game? That was another awful throw.
Well, I saw nothing but horrible calls all day.
Yeah,
watching these games, it's been Mahomes gets away with just throw it up and just they'll get a pass interference till 21. It was like there was a lot of that today on all the games I watched. Terrible officiating is brutal in this league. It's terrible. They should have replay for every goddamn flag.
All right, Joe, I got a question for you, and you have earned the right to be able to speak on this with much more experience than I have. We are 8-2, right?
Yep.
We have won more than ever in any period of legal history. Like, how do you gauge that? Because you're a fan that's seen the good. You saw a lot of the bad, and there's been a lot more bad than good, and we are winning. Like, do you feel like we should be striving for more, or do you say to me, dude, just enjoy the wins because it's not always going to be like, where are you on kind of that spectrum?
Well, I think you need
that well, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think you need to enjoy the wins, but they should be so much better. The defense is, I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, this defense is going to be better at the end of the year this year than they were last year. They're just, because their defense is dynamite.
It's amazing, dude.
Man, it's really, really good. But that offense, I swear, AJ's lost a step.
I'm starting to think that now too. I hadn't thought that.
Yeah, he's lost a step.
You got a route down low. It's a 3-yard slant. Like, if you can't win at the line of scrimmage, you know what I mean? Like, you would expect him to win those routes, and he wasn't.
He's lost his explosiveness. And then he gave up on that. I think it's all the hamstrings and the knee injury last year. It adds up after, even though he's not, I think he's 29.
I thought he was 28. Is he 29?
Whatever he is, he's lost some acceleration. And then he gave up on that long ball.
Yeah, he's 28. He'll be 29 in the summer.
And he gave up on that one play. I don't like his body language. I don't like his acceleration. I don't like the fact that they force-fed him at the expense of everybody else on the team.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that Hurts is throwing 30 yards to some third-string tight end. And he doesn't. And every pass was on the outside.
Was that a fourth down call? No, that was
middle.
a third. Was that a fourth down call that Kylan Branson threw? Third down? Third and long. Third and long.
Nothing over the middle.
Joe, third and long, and they throw a deep ball to Kylan fucking Granson.
Yeah, they might as well throw it to me on my couch. I'd have a better chance of catching it.
Oh my goodness! You can't make this shit up.
No.
Holy crap!
And they still win. That's it.
I know.
Yeah, I just don't want to be. You don't want to end up playing. Being like the Kansas City Chiefs. They're toast, and they're going to be toast for a long time. I could see Andy quitting after this season if they don't make the playoffs.
I can see that. They might not make the playoffs.
I mean, you win by the skin of your teeth for a season, then you get the shit kicked out of you in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
I hate to see it happen to the Eagles, but they have to fix this offense. And I don't know. I've seen enough of the film.
You're not calling for Tanner McKay, are you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm getting there.
Are you getting there? Give me a percentage. How close are you?
I don't know, 25%.
All right, that's still pretty low.
A couple more games like this, though. I have the EMTs on speed dial.
Yeah, I bet.
Just to deal with the goddamn coach.
You got that. You got the people that come over to your house and do the IVs, the vitamin C IVs.
Exactly. They're on speed dial.
Yeah, they're reviving you tomorrow.
The way this coach 2 weeks in a row. I mean, take the win at the end of the game, dumbass.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I didn't see his post-game show. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
No
wonder you're so chipper. You're fresh off a nap. No wonder
That's
you're
right.
I'm
As my grandmother used to say, I'm full of piss and vinegar.
There you go. All right, Joe, I appreciate you, man.
I don't know if I can get back to sleep. My poor wife, she's going to be like, what the hell?
Whatever you do, don't rewatch the game. I don't think
I'm not. No, I'm on to Dallas. I'm on to Dallas.
Next week is Dallas next week? Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas next week.
What time is that? 4:25 game?
I don't know. Kelly Green in Dallas. So they better not lose that game.
Oh God.
I enjoy watching Skip Bayless cry.
They're not going to lose that game. They can't lose that game.
No, not with this defense. They're going to run Dak. They're going to run Dak Prescott into the ground next week.
I know they could. All right, Joe. I appreciate it, man.
Right.
Thank you,
time for bed, Zander.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. Later, dude. There's Joe Whip. I got one more. Chris 3K. Let's go to him. By the way, I've never been so happy to see so few of you. I'm happy I got to talk to Joe Whip. I was hoping Underdog would come in because he would be spitting some super hot fire. Let's go to Chris 3K. He's joining me right now in the post game. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's good with you, Zander? You got me?
I got you, bro. You look good. You sound good. You're better than the Eagles' offense, that's for sure. What'd you make of the game today?
It's hard to be much worse than that. I'll tell you that. That crap is bad, but I mean,
it is. Where do you put the blame?
On the offense?
Yeah.
We got to talk about the offense. I want to talk about the defense. Let's talk about the defense because the defense is the defense. We'll get to the offense. The defense.
They don't even deserve our time.
I mean, I'll give them a little bit, but the defense is, man, Jalen Phillips, like for all the, I think Howie, I don't think he fixed everything that he did in the offseason, but man, boy, he cleaned up a lot with that Jalen Phillips move. I mean, this defense, again, like Vic Fangio is spectacular. Like even Adoree was good today, I thought. You know, I mean, Jameson is going to make a play. I mean, they got good players too. Other teams have good players, but this defense is crazy, bro. I mean, look, we said, like, well, they can't keep winning like this as far as defensively, like giving up this many points. They just might be able to. And the one thing I'll say is, like, as far as these other teams that we are kind of worried about offense, like the Rams, because I know they're the hot team. But I'm like, well, if we can play defense like this, we got a chance against anybody. I'm not going to lie to you. And they didn't see us with Nakobe and Jalen Phillips. So, you know, I'm like, this defense it's amazing. I genuinely get joy watching our defense play. Like it's actually fun to watch.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, and they're not only beating up on shit. I mean, that's the best offense in the last 2 years in pro football.
That's what I'm saying. That was an elite. That's been the best. I know they don't have a Super Bowl, which people.
No, yeah, but they're the most. But they're the high output offense. Yes, in pro football.
They've been the best offense for the last, I think, maybe 3 years. Honestly, like they've been elite for a while. So there's that. Now, as far as the other side of the ball. I guess we got to talk about them. I mean,
What
they're
do you
terrible.
make of Jalen? Start with Jalen.
Man, okay. Here's my thing with Jalen. I've seen him be a lot better than what he's been playing lately. And I know when I pop in and now when I hear things like, well, Jalen can't do this and do that, I know he's much better than what he's playing or what he's shown. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. Well, one, he's not running. The design runs are pretty much gone. And that's, I think, a part of the problem. They don't want him. And I can understand protecting him, which I get. But, man, I thought tonight, I don't know how windy it was in Philly. I'm on the West Coast, so we just had some rain lately, but no wind.
Sure
I saw some of those deep
down a little bit, but
yeah, so some of those deep balls where he had guys, the ball's kind of floating. But, I mean, my thing with Jalen, and this is a complete offense thing, we got all these so-called, and I think they are superstars on offense, but it seems to be, it's like we're incapable of having an offense where everybody's involved at the same time. It's either this guy got a lot of targets and this one didn't get any, or DeVonta had them and AJ didn't, or Dallas. It's like one guy, it's like they go into the huddle or they go into the offensive game plan and say, okay, today is AJ's week and nobody else is going to get a target. Or DeVonta, it's your week. Or I'm like, why do we have all these guys and we can't seem to spread it out and spread it around where everybody's being involved and getting touches? I don't get it. Sirianni almost screwed it up again tonight. That fourth down call was terrible. I will say this to touch on what you just asked, Joe. I know we're winning. I'm your age. So to me, my whole life, the Eagles have been relevant. So I don't have this mentality of just being thankful for winning. If we don't win a championship, it's all for nothing. So I look at it like when your defense is that good and your offense is that inept, you're winning, but you're playing with fire. Because we saw what happened against Denver this year. We saw what happened against the Giants. All it takes is for your defense to have a mistake or two here or there. And if your offense is that inept, in January, you go home. And for all that, and for however many regular season wins we have, there's not going to be one person that's going to be happy with a divisional or conference championship exit, no matter how many games we win. So, for all the people that are like, well, we just keep winning, I'm like, if we're about winning championships, you got to understand the process is more important than the end result. And we're winning, but I'm going to be honest with you, Zander, we should have blew that team out in the first half tonight. That game should have been over. Last year's team, even that game would have been 27-0 at half. It'd been over. There wouldn't have been any offensive pass interference controversy. It would have been over. So I'm I know people, whatever they think of AJ, I'm with AJ because I know what he's talking about. And he's and he kind of alluded to it. I'm you're playing with fire, and it doesn't take a great team to beat you. You can lose to anybody when you play like that offensively. So that's the first part from what I saw.
Where are you on the Tanner meter?
Nowhere near. It's ridiculous. Did you see what Jared Goff looked like? That's what Tanner would have looked like. Detroit's defense was good tonight. Now, granted, they played our offense, so
they were good though. No, they were good. The corners were flying around. They were better than I thought they were going to be. For sure.
But then again, I've been telling people and I heard this well, Detroit plays this type of defense, and I'm look, the way we play offense, we make everybody look good. We'll get a lot of defensive coordinators, head coaching jobs the way our offense looks because we stink. So, but no, the Tanner stuff is ridiculous, bro. Jalen deserves too much respect.
Why do you think we would look like that though?
Look like what?
Like what the Lions look like.
Oh, because you saw what happened when a guy like Goff is Tanner's very much a timing guy. So when you get
worse than what we did tonight, Jalen didn't do anything.
How could we be worse? Goff did have a pick tonight.
How can it be worse?
Goff did have a pick tonight. I'm not.
That's fair. Maybe you'd have more turnovers and change.
Yeah. The turnovers and look, Jalen is for what it is. He's a Super Bowl. I love Jalen. I think the guy deserves respect. I think that's a.
I respect him.
I think he deserves the respect for me to each his own. But for me, that's not really a conversation. But our offense is just it's awful. And Patullo, God, I don't know why a first-time guy would ever get this high profile of a job. I'm gonna stay with that.
I agree with that.
I don't. Why not let him go to Tennessee or somewhere and get his growing pains? Why here? This isn't the spot for somebody to get a first-time job.
It's literally like putting a 16-year-old in the Ferrari. That's exactly what it's like.
Exactly, with no license.
With no license.
Yeah,
or
like
fresh off their license. It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
So you know what I'm saying. But all in all, I mean, 8-2. The defense is great. The offense is garbage.
So
I'm
you
just
think we're
hoping
going
that.
back to the Super Bowl? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I do. I do. I do. You know why? Because I keep saying like I do, and the reason why is for all these offenses that we keep hearing about. Maybe, Xander, we're just the anomaly in the modern era of NFL football. We might just be that good on defense. After what I saw tonight, we might just like last week. It was Green Bay they're banged up, and I know Laporta didn't play tonight, but I don't care. That Detroit offense is elite, and they score in bunches, and we stopped them every fourth down and pretty much every third. We held them to 9. Well, really, I'm gonna say 6 because that last 3 was courtesy of Sirianni.
Yeah.
So
you can say 6. That's fair.
yeah, I'm like, we held them to 6. I'm like, look, if the Rams have to come to Philly and I'm over here by SoFi, if they got to go to Philly, cold, warm, whatever the weather is, good luck because that defense is hell for anybody. So
I'm confident.
Xander, we're a defensive team. That's what we got to realize.
Yeah.
We're a defensive team. So
which is going to bring for some bigger questions in the offseason, but we'll handle those in the offseason.
We'll worry about that when we get there. But I think for to save the frustration from the offense, I'm gonna just lean into we're a defensive team, and then we'll figure it out on offense. Maybe we get a player or two. We'll go from there. But we play defense, bro, at an elite level. That's what we do now. So
yes, sir. No doubt. All right, brother. I appreciate you joining in tonight. I'll talk to you again soon. All right, man?
Yep.
All right, later, dude. There's my boy Chris 3K. Great stuff there. Can you guys believe it? That's it. I had 2 people click the link tonight. It's a beautiful thing. I've never been so happy to not see the people of JAKIB Nation. As much as I love you guys. All right, as much as I love all you guys. Do we have any Hurts fanboys in here? We do. Stott says Jalen Hurts does better passing in the weather than the QB best known for his passing, and y'all still hating. Stott, you don't think Jalen Hurts was good tonight, do you? Jalen Hurts was a fucking bum juice tonight. Jalen Hurts went full Akbar tonight. He went full bum juice. He went full bum juice tonight. Come on, Stott. I'm open to be swayed. Hurts season says Howie is wow. And look at his name. His name is Hurts season. Are you not a Hurts lover? Hurts won tonight. That's true. Reyes, I don't think he was the reason we won, but he won the game. And for Nimrods like you who put wins on the quarterback, which they are very clearly not, okay? Where's Caleb? My boy Caleb. Where's my boy Caleb, the O-line guru? He's always telling me wins are a quarterback stat. Wins are not a quarterback stat. Get out of here with that bullshit. They can be influenced by the quarterback, but they're not a quarterback stat. How do you explain the Eagles' success the last 2 years if wins are a quarterback stat? You can't. Oh, wait. All these people will tell me last year was because of the quarterback. No, it fucking wasn't. He threw for 2,900 yards, guys. What are we talking about here? Wins are not a quarterback stat. It's a team game. Stott says not a great quarterback, and yet he is on a clear Hall of Fame trajectory. Well, I don't deny that, but that's largely because of where he plays. Stop Pie. If he played on the Jacksonville Jaguars, if he played on the Chicago Bears, if he played on the New York Giants, if he played on the Dallas Cowboys, if he played on the Washington Commanders, would he be on a Hall of Fame trajectory? No. So that's fine that you're saying that, but make sure you understand the context. That's all. I agree with you. He is on a Hall of Fame trajectory right now if he keeps winning at this level. Island says if. Bullshit, Island. You use the same thing when it comes to Hurts getting all the credit for the wins. Hurts doesn't deserve that much credit for the wins, guys. Stop. Hurts will win MVP and Super Bowl. I bet a pastrami on rye, Big Z. I'll take a fucking pastrami on rye. I will take a pastrami on rye. Jalen's worst enemy is hypotheticals. Reyes, I do agree with you on that, my friend. I do agree with you on that. All right. And if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. Or I guess as if my uncle had, or if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Not if she had a dick. I changed the whole slogan there. My bad. I'm a little delusional at this point. That's pretty funny. I'm only pissed off when we lose. Bullshit, Big Mike. You're not a real, but Big Mike, I'm not even buying that. All right. Here's Jarhead. If our kicker is kicking in the wind and having no issues, it's a QB issue, not the wind. The quarterback wasn't good tonight. There's no doubt. Tebow Hurts is more true than ever this year. Clary Boy, don't let the fanboys tell it. They'll tell you he's got 16 touchdowns and 1 pick. Got 1 pick. Come on, Clary Boy. He's got 1 pick, bro. Only 1 pick. Check down Charlie. Nothing in the middle of the field. Only throws a single coverage. No tight window throws. But he's got 1 pick, Clary Boy. You let the fanboys tell it. That's what you'll hear. Life is for living, says, but it's all Hurts' fault. Nobody said that. Stop being a fucking... Dude, you're like emotional like my baby sister. Nobody's fucking saying that, dickhead. Why are you so fucking emotional? Why are you so protective of a man who doesn't even know who the fuck you are? Life is for living. You could perish from this earth tomorrow and Hurts would have no fucking idea. Why do you carry his water like he's your brother? He's not your brother. He's not your family. Relax, dude. It's like fucking weird. You guys are so weird about this guy. I've never seen anything like it. Like, I like Eagles players, but like, I don't care that much. Like, if Nad comes in here and tells me the Eagles fucking stink, I'll say, all right, Nad, you're entitled to your opinion. It is what it is. You know? I mean, come on, man. It's weird. Bro, is he your brother? Does he pay your bills? Like, why are you so in love with him? M. Reyes, that's my quarterback. M. Reyes, I'm starting to wonder if you're a diddy, if you're a diddler. You might be a gay-ass diddler. Is your wife a front? Reyes, is your wife a front, bro? Is she a cover? Reyes, don't tell me your wife is a cover. Is she listening to the show right now? Is your wife covering up for your real motives? Where's my boy Morty? Morty, I got to get out of here or else my voice is going to go again. I can already feel it starting to get scratchy. Hurts getting a lot of reach. Dude, he gets so many reach arounds. It's crazy, man. He gets so many reach arounds. It's crazy. Reyes, what does that have to do with anything? Truth is, Z, we bet to repeat, and then what will they say? They'll probably say you got a great team with a shitty quarterback. That's probably what they will say, whoever they is. All right? Whoever they is, what they'll probably say is that, thank you, Vic Fangio. You got a great defense. Your offense is fucking dog water. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Holy crap. Holy crap. All right, I'm getting out of here. Good show, everybody. It's a good freaking show. What's my thing doing? What's the thing sticking out? Some Eagles fans are on that Dak level when it comes. Dude, that's so true, Clary Boy. Eagles fans love to chirp about Prescott, but man, they are like the same. They are truly the same. They really are. All right, they really are. It's so true. All right, I love all you guys. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for all the super chats tonight. Hit that like button, Birds. Get the win over the Lions. By the way, the much anticipated game of the season. 18 months we waited for this matchup. That thing was a stinker. That was the game we all anticipated. That thing was a stink bomb. That thing was a complete and utter stink bomb. By the way, guys, stop slurping another grown man. It's weird. Race, quit slurping another grown man. He don't fucking know you. He doesn't care. Just be objective about the team. You don't need to slurp him. All right? It's like weird. He's got enough dudes slurping him. Please. There's enough dudes slurping this motherfucker. Yeah, it's like a Slurpee fest. It's like 7-Eleven. It's like August 11th. Or no, July 11th. Excuse me. It's like July 11th around here. You go into 7-Eleven and you get a free Slurpee. You get a free Slurpee. Tell that to Trump. That's hilarious. Hey, Reyes, what is up with some of that Diddy convo, bro? What is up with some of that diddler shit? See, Reyes, I don't slurp for any man. All right, I don't give a fuck who you are. All right? All right, I love you, man. Reyes, I love you, bro. Even when you think I hate you, because, Reyes, sometimes you're so gosh darn stupid, I can't take it. But I do love you, pal. Nad, what's up, brother? Love you, Nad. Nad, I think it's about time I fulfill my jersey I owe you. I owe Nad a jersey, everybody. I do. I owe Nad a jersey. I owe him a Patrick Willis jersey. I owe Nad a Patrick Willis jersey. Nad, I got to get you that, don't I, bro? Nad, I got to get you that, dude. Send him a Tanner one? No, I'm going to send him a Patrick Willis. I think he wanted white. I forget. He emailed me. Was it Willis that you wanted? I forget, Nad. Jalen Hurts is failing as a leader. Wow. Man, I hate you and love you at the same time. Naz, that's the story of my life with this chat. I love them all, but they I love them all, but man, are they goofy sometimes. Some of you Eagles fans are goofies. Some of you are goofies. All right, I love you guys. Later, bro. Appreciate you. Nat, I got to hook you up. I'll get it done. Love all you guys. See you next time, everybody.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles.